30 pre-draft visits. Former TCU running back Kendre Miller also on the meeting schedule. The team's voluntary offseason workouts began yesterday. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is opting to train in Houston instead of at the Tempe facilities. The U.S. men's national team released their roster for the squad's April 19th friendly against Mexico at State Farm Stadium. And the Diamondbacks with a midweek matinee to close their three-game set with the Brewers. Drew Jamieson is on the hill for his first start of 2023. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeart Radio app.
Now's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bills. That's Bills.
All good.
Enter it now at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Temperature starting to cool down a bit.
Hi, we want 3, 2, 1 today.
Today, right around 94 degrees with plenty of sunshine and breezy conditions. Tonight, clear skies with those temperatures dipping down into those low 60s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome at the end of your first year. They automatically double all the cash back you've earned.
You guys are never in
Everything
studio.
you've earned, doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, we say good afternoon to you on a wonderful day in the Valley of the Sun. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD2, and also on the iHeartRadio app. Xander's studio. Jax is here. It is Jimmy B and Manuch hanging out at Wright Toyota, right on the price here on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Manuch, I'm telling you right now, that Nissan right there in front of you, that GT, their sports car, I look great in that vehicle.
Well, I tell you what, Jim, with all the 2 or 3 nickels you still have from yesteryear, you could probably clean out this certified pre-owned vehicle area with all the outstanding, gorgeous cars that they got in. But yeah, that bad boy right there.
Oh, it'll run too.
Yeah, that bad boy will get you in a brand new Toyota Tundra.
There you go.
Can you just imagine seeing Jimmy in a Tundra?
Yeah,
a big old truck.
I'm too small. I can't. I need a ladder just to climb up to get in the truck.
Jimmy, they got booster chairs.
I need all the help I can get.
They got all things, but they do have a going on out here at Wright Toyota.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to get into today, so let's go.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, we're going to get into the Diamondbacks and the loss last night, and also the Suns have the time and the schedule for their upcoming series in the NBA playoffs against the Los Angeles Clippers. Want to remind everybody, too, the best place to watch that? Well, you know it is the CAZ Sports Bar and the CAZ Sports Book at Casino, Arizona. They have all of the Major League games. They get every game. You can go and watch your favorite team no matter what time. They've got it on for you. They also will have the NBA playoffs and the upcoming NHL playoffs as well, plus great golf coverage. You can get all the big screens, 47 flat screen televisions at your disposal, great food and drink prices. And when you want to make your wager, the sports book is right there. Hey, we were doing the show on Monday. Charles Barkley's hanging out with us in the sports book, doing his thing. So we waved at him, and he waved back, and then abruptly left us there with nothing. But we had a great time. Once again, it is the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book at Casino, Arizona. All right, Manuch, let's do this because I want to get into some of the Diamondbacks that took action that took place last night. But let's start quickly with the Suns, just that we now know that they will begin Sunday late afternoon, 5 o'clock against the Clippers.
Yeah, tip-off, as you mentioned, Jimmy, 5 o'clock against the Clippers. That game will be on TNT and Bally Sports. Both we got the dual games being broadcast. But, yeah, now that we know, I think that the Suns, who are sounds like all intent and purposes, are working hard. They're getting their lifting in. They're running. They're conditioning. Getting themselves ready for this LA Clippers team. The Paul George-less LA Clippers. But, folks, they got some dudes, got some players on that team that can make some things happen and, just get healthy. Everybody ready. I want to believe there's only potentially one person that might be out for the Suns. I'll double check on that. So it's all hands on deck. Here we go, 5 o'clock. And then I think the next game will be on Tuesday at 7 o'clock on TNT as well, too. So now that the schedule's there, a little scrimmaging, a little rest.
Yep.
A lot of ice, massage, conditioning.
All that.
Here we go, man.
I have to tell you a funny story from last night. I went out to a refreshment stand to watch the Lakers playoff game, right?
Now wait a second. If you would go get a sponsorship from this refreshment stand, you could mention them ad nauseum. If you got a sponsorship, go to the owner and say, look, I mention you. Well, I really don't. But if you like, let's say $300, $400 a week, I can mention you all the time because I'm always here.
I am.
By the way, you're like Norm on Cheers. You got your own table,
my own chair.
Your own chair right there.
Yeah, at the bar.
Don't be afraid to ask for the ask. Jim.
Okay,
there you go.
I'll do that, my brother. But I just wanted to relate this funny story. So this guy is sequestered next to me, and we start talking because the Laker game was very entertaining last night. It went against the Timberwolves.
It was?
It was for the first 3 quarters, but we'll get into that a little later in the show. So then he brings up the Suns and the Clippers, and he's telling me that the Suns are just going to blow them out in 4 games. It's going to be a piece of cake. Russell Westbrook is the worst player on that team, meaning the Clippers, and he won't be able to do anything at all, and all they have to really worry about is guarding Kawhi Leonard. Manuch, you know me, I'm a lightweight when it comes to refreshments.
We know that. Jimmy.
I almost threw down the refreshment in one swallow after he said that. I could not believe what was coming out of his mouth. Do people not understand that Russell Westbrook is the king of triple doubles? Is also an MVP, former MVP. And yes, it didn't work out for him very well with the Lakers, but he has played much better since he's with the Clippers.
Well, I think that Russell Westbrook realizes that the world doesn't revolve around Russell Westbrook.
That's a fair point.
I mean, it's not his world that everybody's passing through. I think he now realizes that what's he got, maybe 3, 4, 5 years left.
Yeah.
He's not that young guy that he was several years ago who did everything.
Yes.
But he doesn't have to rely on just himself. Now that he's starting again, you got to wonder if Lou might have said, hey, look, here's the deal. We need you to do what you're doing, but distribute more so because we've got more guys. Got Kawhi Leonard, Paul George when he's playing.
Norman Powell.
He's healthy. When he's healthy. You've got a group of guys around you. You don't have to do it by yourself.
Right.
So this is some of the more, I would call it, more responsible basketball that we see Russell Westbrook. And I don't know if I've ever seen him pass the ball off or maybe get the offense in motion besides just coming down and just kind of creating his own one-on-one and having a dribble-a-thon with whomever he's being guarded by.
Manucci is the king of triple-doubles, so he does have a propensity to pass the basketball.
Here's the thing. Okay. Now, you say that he is the king of triple-doubles, but how many rings does he have?
He has 0.
That's it. So I think that he realizes, man, he could triple double all night, every night. Jimmy.
Right, that's true.
But I think now with this team, he realizes that with the Suns coming up, he's going to have to distribute. He's still be aggressive.
He's going to have to play defense.
Sure, exactly. That's the thing too. So for your buddy at this particular freshman stand,
set him straight, will you?
Well, I think you'll get a sponsorship out of that because you can finally mention these guys down there in North Tucson, wherever the hell you live.
Jimmy, you mentioned he is the king of triple doubles.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook hasn't had a triple double since January 15th.
No, I'm not talking this season.
Oh, I just want to mention that for you.
In history, he is the king of triple doubles in NBA history.
Well, what Jimmy's alluding is he has the propensity.
Yes, he does.
To get on the roll and to start to feel it without going, okay, are we winning or do I have to? But again, Jim, in his defense, he's had to pretty much do the triple doubles for many years for his teams to win.
That is correct.
He doesn't have to do that with this Clippers
OKC
team.
And also at Houston. So anyway, that was the discussion last night, which, by the way, sets up our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. Notice how I segued into that. For a free quote, repair, or installation, just head to state48roofing.com. You can always follow them on social media by searching hashtag sexy roof status. Here's the question. What will be the biggest weakness the Suns will have to overcome once the playoffs begin? Is it Josh Okogie? You're going to have to set me straight on this. 2, lack of big men. 3, score off the bench. 4, injuries.
There you go. Just go to that Roc and Manuch on Twitter.
All right, that'll be good. All right, to the Diamondbacks last night. I'm telling you, Merrill Kelly's throwing great. And all of a sudden, in the 6th inning, and
2 minutes,
and all of a sudden, boom. I felt like that college kid on TV many, many years ago where everything blew up on him and he went, boom goes the dynamite. That's exactly what happened to the Diamondbacks in last night's game, because everything is going their way. They hadn't produced any runs yet, but they were doing a great job of shutting down the Brewers, and then it all hell broke loose.
Well, shut him down, Jimmy. He had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. I thought he and Burns for the Brewers, watching both those guys, I mean, you had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. Both of these guys just outstanding pitching. Right. I love seeing a pitcher's duel. But to your point there, that 5th inning, that I said 7th inning, 5 runs in that 7th inning, and just an absolute implosion by this pitching staff. Adams goes yard, and then you get a walk and another base hit, and then all of a sudden you look up, it's 7-zip. Now the D-backs get a run in the bottom of the ninth. That was about it to kind of salvage a shutout. But again, Merrill Kelly really, really throwing the ball well, very, very impressive. Too bad he couldn't get any run support early on. And just a real quick update with today's game. Okay. In the top of the 3rd right now, D-backs leading 1-zip. And on the mound today, I believe you got Jameson on the mound, and then Junk is for the Brewers. So currently 1-zip, D-backs, top of the 3rd against the Brew Crew.
And we will continue to update you on that throughout the course of the show. All right, everybody, coming up, it's our Valley Chevy Dealers Sounds of the Night. We have lots of them, and they're a lot of fun. And we do have plenty to say about some of these sounds of the night. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcast live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys, live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Jenny!
Hey, Jenny!
Jenny, come on in!
Steve!
Hey, Steve!
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you!
Hey, Meg!
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
Right Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at righttoyota.com.
Only 1 week left to file your taxes. But don't worry, Jackson Hewitt is racking up the assists. We guarantee your biggest tax refund and guarantee the accuracy of your return for life. So make a fast break to Jackson Hewitt. Our tax pros will get you filed or get you an extension before the deadline. Beat the clock and the crowds. Come in and file today. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person
I'd rather
counts.
not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Meant for mornings. The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen tomorrow, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
You're live.
All right, everybody, we are back broadcasting live here at Toyota in Scottsdale. Great assumption of cars that they have here for you. A wonderful selection, and I'm telling you right now, Manuch, I'm going to say it almost every hour. You look great in that Nissan GT. That is one hot car.
You know, I'm doing good with my Toyota Corolla, Jimmy.
Okay.
Just so you know,
right.
Toyota with my Toyota Corolla. If I'm going to go in there, I'm going to go with a brand new, right Toyota Corolla. And
all right, I'm just saying it's a great pre-owned vehicle.
Yeah. Well,
certified.
I got you. There's a lot of gorgeous.
They do have
certified pre-owned vehicles, but I'm gonna stick with my Toyota Corolla, Jimmy. Just so you know, we're at Right Toyota
yes,
today.
we are.
Yep.
All right, now it's time to get to our Valley Chevy Dealers Sounds of the Night. And we discussed it briefly, but we're really going to dive into it now. It was from the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. This game had every playoff fan locked in, at least for the first 3 quarters, because it was nuts, absolutely nuts. The place was jumping in Los Angeles, whatever the name of that is. It Crypto Arena? Is that the name of it now?
Staples.
No, I know it used to be Staples forever. But at any rate, the place is jumping. The T-Wolves are shooting the lights out from behind the 3-point line. So we finally get into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is dreadful. I mean, they're throwing bricks. Both teams were. So it comes down to crunch time with only a little time left, just a few seconds left. So the Lakers have the ball. They call timeout. LeBron, when they come out of the timeout, is going to have the ball in his hands. They set up a great play where LeBron James penetrates toward the basket. The entire team of the Minnesota Timberwolves collapse on top of him. He kicks it over to Dennis Schroeder, who drills the three-pointer. Here it is, and this is what it sounded like. Thank you to TNT.
Against Edwards, the switch on defense now on Prince. LeBron takes it in, kicks it out. Schroeder.
So everybody thinks the game's over. There's only like a half a second or so left. It's over.
I got to tell you, Jimmy, I am shocked.
Yeah.
He kicked that out. But you look at it, as you mentioned, everybody just came crashing down on LeBron. They were going to hammer him. He was not going to get that shot off.
Correct.
But the savviness and as smart as he is, what a great play they set that up. For him to drive to the rim, I'm surprised he didn't pull up. So when I went and saw him go up underneath the rim and then kick it out to Schroeder, I'm like, damn. And then he hits it. But I got to tell you about this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Might have been one of the ugliest fourth quarters I have ever seen in NBA history. Matter of fact, that was Scruffalopolis on the floor.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
I thought they'd pack them all up and send them all back to Sesame Street, okay? What was it, 19-12?
Yeah.
I think at one point with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, it was 3-2. It seemed that way. It was ugly. It was scruffy. Quite frankly, I think both those teams are out of gas, and it's shown.
I'm with you on the out of gas thing. So now there's 1.4 left on the clock, and then Anthony Davis does a bonehead play. Once again, here's the clip. Thank you to TNT.
Make sure you are not fouling in the act of shooting if you're going to take a foul. Anderson looks for the open man. Hands up, 3 off. And there's a foul on Anthony Davis. And Anthony contesting. A foul on Anthony Davis on the shot by Connolly in the short corner on a 3-point drive. And that means 3 free throws. And Conley has not been to the line tonight. And they can't challenge.
I thought it was so funny where Reggie says, "Don't foul."
Well, and on top of the cross-court pass was amazing. Oh my gosh, he's going to get a shot off.
Yeah.
And you saw him go, okay, that's going to be a wing and a prayer, right? And when Davis goes up, you go, okay, he's just going up. He's 5 feet away from him because from the camera away from that corner shot by Conley, you can't tell how tall he is. But when he goes up and the official blows a whistle, You come out of off the couch. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
No, he didn't foul him. That is from the what in the hell, or you would say, what in the wide world of sports is going on over here?
That's it.
That was, you know what? And right on cue, Reggie Miller was like, and you couldn't challenge it because you didn't have any challenges left on top of that.
Unbelievable.
And it was a foul, folks. It was totally a foul.
Yeah, it was. Now, Mike Conley had a fantastic game. He was 7 of 11 from the floor, 6 of 8 from behind the three-point line with 4 rebounds and 3 steals. And then it was up to Conley to make all 3 free throws. Here it is.
Anderson looks for the open man. It's a 3 off, and it's a foul on Anthony Davis. And that means 3 free throws. And Conley has not been to the line tonight. And they can't challenge it. Yep, there's the contact right there. That's an easy call. Free throw attempt this half. Oh my goodness. That was a nervous net. You love playing basketball. This is what you want. Oh man, that's pressure. That is absolute pressure.
So he makes all 3 of them, sends it into overtime.
Well, the first one barely
it
goes
in front of the rim.
And the key was there, he had not had any free throw attempts in the fourth quarter.
Correct.
And on top of all that, the very first one, it hits the front of the rim and just happens to get a gratuitous bounce. It falls forward. I don't think I've heard Nervous Nelly since you broadcasted back in 1972, Jimmy. That's Reggie Miller coming out of the mothballs.
Well,
with
he
that
was
term.
listening to me.
That you must have been.
When he was a little kid. All right. So at any rate, the game goes into overtime. The Lakers pull away, and they win 108-102. So then after the game, here is LeBron James being interviewed, and this is what he had to say about Anthony Davis and his foul.
No, I mean, we discussed it on the bench. The play was between me and AD. We discussed it on the bench, and then, we move forward. I mean, because we still got 5 more minutes to play, so, and that's how we started overtime. I mean, we outscored them in OT 10-4. So we was able to, recalibrate, get our game back, and then go on. I think we scored the first 5 points of overtime, and, it was good for us.
That was the watered-down version.
That is.
Of what he said to AD on the bench. Matter of fact, when they didn't go to break.
No.
They showed
him
sitting next to him. He sat next to him, and he looked at him and with those eyes like, what the what were you thinking? I mean, if they had kangaroo court basketball. He'd be buying for everybody, even though they won for like a year straight.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's kind of like he looked there and said, what the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you thinking? That was the key there is, I think all of us went, what the hell are you thinking? And that might have been the most watched or anticipated 3 free throws that I've ever watched in reference, because I'm sitting there rooting for Minnesota going, oh man, you gotta make these. You gotta make these, which they should have beat them, I thought, in regulation. But that was one of those games where I think the Lakers dodged a bullet now to be in the 7th position in the Western Conference playoff.
And they have a date then with the Memphis Grizzlies coming up. Okay, let's move then to baseball. I'm watching the Orioles game. Now, I don't know if you've seen this yet, Manuch, but after the Orioles get a base hit or hit a home run, I'll just talk about the guy who gets a base hit. He's standing on first base. Manuch, I know in the 70s you were a big disco guy. Do you remember the dance called the sprinkler? The sprinkler.
No, I don't remember that one. I mean, the funky chicken.
Yeah, that's it. Jax has got it. See, Jax knows.
The sprinkler.
Is
it back
now? Come on, Jimmy. I'm a dancer.
I know. Look at you go, boy.
Is it back now, Jimmy?
Well, it was last night for the Orioles. It's one of their baseball celebrations. So a guy gets a base hit. He's standing on first base, and the players all come up to the railing on the dugout. He starts doing the sprinkler. They all spit water out of their mouths at the same time.
Good.
It's a great celebration.
Maybe the Banana Boats baseball team is Major League Baseball. I love it.
Yeah, and speaking, by the way, of the Orioles, there's this guy named, and he's got a great last name, Ryan Mountcastle. Mountcastle. Well, he got things going in a hurry. Thank you to Mid-Atlantic Sports Network for this. Here it is.
And Mountcastle cracks it. High and deep, left center field. At the wall, it is out of here. He's done it again. Holy smokes, did he crunch that thing? Three trips to the plate, 5 runs knocked in. It is 7-6 with a long, long way to go.
All right, so that was the beginning of the long ball. So then Mountcastle comes up again, and guess what he does? Here it is.
High fly ball left field. Did he? Yes, he did. As grand as it gets.
456 feet. And we just said, Mounties sit on that slider, and he got one right in the heart of the plate. And wow.
A 9.
2 minute.
9 RBI night for Ryan Mountcastle.
Unbelievable, Manucci. It's the grand salami.
How about the broadcaster? A grand night. What a grand way to finish with a grand slam. 3 for 4 with the 9 RBIs by King Mountie.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great nickname. Great last name, Mountcastle. By the way, in Marlins history, the Miami Marlins history, Luis, say his last name for
Ariza.
Ariza.
Yeah.
Okay. Ariz.
Ariz.
Luis Ariz. He gets a base hit to complete, you guessed it, a cycle. It's the first time that a hitting cycle has been completed in Marlins history. Here it is from Bally Sports.
Long look. Pitch clock down to 1, and that is going to get down a base hit. The first cycle in Marlins franchise history, Luis Ariz.
There you go. And that's great stuff.
Think of all the great hitters
1 minute.
the Marlins have had over the years. Mm-hmm. You think of the guys like the Craig Counsels that came through there.
Sure.
Some of those guys, that's the very first cycle that's ever happened. And I think that's the second cycle so far in these first 2 weeks of Major League Baseball. And I got to tell you, Jimmy, with some of the offensive performances by some of these guys, I really believe with making the pitchers get that ball off their allotted amount of time, that they're having to get back into the swing of things, pardon the pun.
Okay.
And the hitters are getting in the box. It just means there's a little more urgency.
Yeah.
And a little more hype in the game.
Get more in rhythm.
That's exactly right. So I think, we've seen 3 grand slams so far this year.
Uh-huh.
And we've seen back-to-back, we've seen several multi-home run performances throughout just the first 2 weeks of Major League Baseball.
All right, that is today's Sounds of the Night. It's all brought to you, of course, by your Valley Chevy dealers. Your Valley Chevy dealers serving the Valley for over 80 years. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. Just head to valleychevy.com. And by the way, coming up in a couple of weeks, you're going to have a chance to win 75-inch smart TVs from our friends at Valley Chevy. It'll be a new text and win contest. Everyone, of course, can make room for a new 75-inch big screen. Details are coming. You can go to the Roc and Manuch website, check out all the information, and we will continue to update you when that contest will begin. All right, when we come back, Suns getting ready for the first round of the playoffs against the Clippers. It'll be Saturday at 5 o'clock. Radio analyst Tim Kempton is going to be our guest.
Sunday.
Did I say Saturday?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sunday.
Well, it started with an S. Sunday at 5 o'clock. Sunday. All right. Radio analyst Tim Kempton is on the way. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The NBA has released its complete first-round playoff schedule. The Suns face the Clippers in Game 1 Sunday afternoon, Game 2 on Tuesday, with Games 3 and 4 in L.A. Thursday and Saturday. The Cardinals are hosting ex-Texas Tech edge rusher Tyree Wilson today as one of their top 30 pre-draft visits. Former TCU running back Kendre Miller also on the meeting schedule. The U.S. men's national team released their roster for the squad's April 19th friendly against Mexico at State Farm Stadium. And the D-backs get a midweek matinee to close their 3-game set with the Brewers. Trey Jamison is on the hill for his first start of the season. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is a casual sports bar and grill with something for everyone. Visit us today at 8880 East Via Linda, Tavern Grill in Scottsdale.
Hey, Arizona, if you're shopping for a new or certified used vehicle, visit any one of your 13 Valley Chevy dealers for the best deals and offers on trucks, crossovers, SUVs, and cars. The Silverado is the #1 best-selling full-size light-duty pickup. So check it out during truck season going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers or visit valleychevy.com. Based on S&G Global Mobility 2022 calendar year end. U.S. new vehicle registrations using GM custom retail registration type in the GM half-ton large pickup segments.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
We're your neighbors. You should stop by for a visit. We're Casino Arizona. Come on in. Our slots are spinning, our dealers are dealing, and everyone's yelling bingo. Isn't it about time you see your friends again? So stop by to say hello. Stay a while. Relax. Enjoy yourself. We'd love to see you again. Hey, this place was made to entertain. We're your Casino, Arizona.
They say there are two things you can't avoid, death and taxes, but they don't know about AC Doctors Heating and Cooling. I have an AC Doctors air filtration system, a new AC, and I work out, so I'm a doctor, of sorts. I might live forever. And taxes? Well, I just had a brand new AC unit installed with a $2,000 federal tax credit, not to mention thousands of dollars in rebates, discounts, and utility savings. So do what the doctor ordered, an apple a day, and call AC Doctors at 602-767-7435 or visit theacdoctors.com for details.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
I have Tim coming back.
Really work to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Every member is waiting to impress. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
Part of the Phoenix Suns NBA Finals team. NBA and Suns color analyst Tim Kempton now joins the Roc and Manuch show on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
You're live.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We continue to broadcast live until 4 o'clock today. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard is where we are located. And with that, we say good afternoon to Tim Kempton, longtime radio analyst for the Suns. Tim, I just start right from the get-go here. I think a lot of people seem to think that because Paul George is not going to be able to play against the Suns, that fans seem to think that Phoenix is just going to have their way with them. I'm not so sure, Tim, that's going to be the case. I believe the Suns win the series, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to being easy.
Well, I don't think it's going to be easy, but I don't think it's going to be, 6 or 7 games beyond that. As well. The games will be, challenging. The games will be competitive, I think, but for the most part, I think it doesn't go past 5. So I just don't think they have the depth. They don't have the talent to play with the Suns, over a series. So will the games be competitive? Yeah, I'm sure they will. Norman Powell's been playing extremely well. You got Eric Gordon who can shoot it from the parking lot. Avicii Zubac and Mason Plumlee the middle are tough covers. They're big, they're physical, they rebound the basketball well, and as we know, the NBA likes to screw up the playoffs by by turning it into a pseudo rugby match. So, the beauty of the game goes away, and all of it. I mean, did you watch those 2 games last night?
Yes. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
Tim! Oh my! Matter of fact, that fourth quarter of that Lakers Timberwolves game, it was scruffalopolis. I was just sending that back to Sesame Street for crying out loud. I mean, that was hard to watch.
What was the score in the quarter? 19-12.
19-12. Yep. Yeah.
And the NBA thinks that's good basketball because it's atrocious. I don't know what the NBA is doing. They've got to. I've been saying it for years, and the NBA just keeps on letting it get worse and worse.
The other thing too is that when you watch those games, you see these teams are pretty much out of gas, and I think, quite frankly, call it load management or just chilling and like a villain or whatever you want to call it. It looked like the conditioning piece caught up with the Lakers from that standpoint. Now, obviously, Minnesota was shorthanded. We get all that, but you're right, Tim. That was just a bad brand of basketball all the way around. Watching that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean the turnovers. I mean, and how about Reggie Miller covering for LeBron James? LeBron James had a 4 or 5, and every time he would say, "Oh, what great defense by the Timberwolves," instead of calling out LeBron for throwing absolutely. How about that sideline out of bounds pass that Mike Conley stole and they had an opportunity? They said, "Oh, what a great play by the Minnesota Timberwolves." How about LeBron not throwing it? He wasn't even being guarded out of bounds. They took the defensive man off the ball. He's standing there without any pressure, and LeBron, the greatest of all time, throws it away.
Yeah, it was really hard to watch.
I've got a question for you. How come he didn't put the crown on his head after he threw that?
Very good point.
You are observant, Tim Kenton. I got to tell you,
that's why we love having you on the show, pal.
And Tim, to that point, how do you stay sharp when you literally have almost a week off in practices to avoid, not scruffiness, to avoid some of the scenarios that you're not rusty, or at least you can knock it off there in maybe the first quarter, first half? How do you avoid that? How are you practicing to avoid some of that carelessness?
Yeah, you know as well as anybody can. The only thing that keeps you sharp is competition.
Yep.
And that's actually what you're trying not to do this week. You're not trying to, get injured. You're not trying to be, get any bumps or bruises. So it's got to be short, intense, 5-minute scrimmages, trying to keep that edge. But I think the best case scenario is be healthy, be ready, and as you said, knock it off in that first game. Knock it off in the first quarter, the first half of that game, because that's exactly the other team's going to be in the same boat. They're sitting there trying those struggles and trying to deal with the same thing, the LA Clippers this week. So, be ready, be mentally sharp, be as physically fit as you can. But then hopefully you knock the game rust off in that first quarter, first half.
Timmy, tell me how the Suns then are going to try to defend the claw in Kawhi Leonard.
Ish Wainwright. We saw it in the last game. I thought that was one of the best things that came of Monty not playing his starters. Ish Wainwright. I've even said it out loud, and I'm saying it out loud to you guys. Me personally, I would put Ish Wainwright in as the starter, the fifth starter, instead of Josh Okogie. And it's no shame to Josh Okogie and what he's doing. I think Ish Wainwright has the physical size to match up better with Kawhi Leonard. That last game was unbelievable. I thought Ish did an amazing job individually against Kawhi Leonard. And the thing that I took away from that game is I said, I just found my Kawhi Leonard, not stopper, but I found the guy that's really going to make Kawhi Leonard have to work and really be physical in that series.
Well, I think what you're saying is it's no indictment against Josh whatsoever. It's just a better matchup.
Not at all. Ish is just bigger and stronger, and he can lean on him a little bit more.
The thing that is interesting when you talk about matchups, now that Monty's played, everybody on that bench seems like they've played a lot of basketball this year, and rightfully so, and maybe that's the blessing in disguise. Do you think he continues with the matchups like you're saying with Ish Wainwright on the claw, or will he settle in with his 8-9 guys off the bench and stick with that rotation? How do you see him playing that out?
Yeah, if you go back to years past, he tends to shorten his bench, which personally I'm not a big fan of. I agree with all the things that you just said. You've played these guys throughout the season. They all every time he called on somebody, they stepped up. Lately we've seen Bismack Biyombo step up and play an integral role down the stretch. We've seen Ish Wainwright make some threes. Terrence Ross, Josh Kogi. You can go on and on with every guy. I would like to see him play, 9 to 10 guys
3 minutes
a night, and stay with the rotation that brought you there and not wear out Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Chris Paul. Keep Cameron Payne on his minutes, and go that way. Monty in the past has shortened his rotation. I'd love to see him go, 9, 10 guys if possible, if the rotation works the way.
All right, let me drop this on you then, because I'm always kind of under the impression, Tim, and you can clarify for us, that once you get to the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. It's much more physical. And is that going to be okay for the Phoenix Suns? Will they still try to take the ball to the basket and not settle for perimeter shots around the three-point line?
Yeah, because you said it, the game does slow down, half-court situation. It definitely becomes more physical, but you can't back down from it. You can't let the other team make you do things that you don't want to do. So you have to be just as physical, if not more, on the offensive end there, attacking the defense. So the Suns are going to have to put the officials out of their mind. Hey, the game gets physical. You're not going to get any calls. We know the LA Clippers are a physical team to begin with. So
2 minutes.
So the Suns they've got to change. First of all, keep the officials out of your head and be more physical yourself.
Tim, looks like everybody's pretty much healthy several day-to-days. Cameron Payne, but I'm sure he'll be there. Bismack Biyombo, pretty much day-to-day. So it sounds like all hands on deck. Here we go, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the Suns are shorthanded at all. I think, this week will definitely let the guys with bumps and bruises heal, and everybody will be 100%. They'll be ready to go, when it rolls around on Sunday.
It's always good, pal, when you take time to come on the show. We always appreciate you. Enjoy the game Sunday, and we will talk again next week. Thank you, Tim.
Sounds good. Good talking to you guys.
There you go. That's Tim Kempton, and he is driven by All City Towing. All City Towing continuing to grow with new vehicles to their already huge fleet. And if you're looking for a new gig, you need to get in touch with All City Towing because they are hiring. That's right. They currently have immediate full-time positions available that have incredible benefits like medical, dental, disability, employee assistance programs as well, plus additional optional insurance plans and incredible benefits. And look, if you like free money, and really, who doesn't, you can even get a 401k and get a 50% match option. That's at All City Towing. Fastest way to apply for All City Towing, just go to allcitytowing.com careers. That's allcitytowing.com careers. All City Towing, they've been the trusted choice for towing and transport across Arizona since 1992. Their professional staff and fleet of over 60 service units are standing by 24/7 to answer your call. Once again, looking for a gig, or if you need help, just contact All City Towing. Just go to allcitytowing.com, or you can call 480-833-7278.
Interesting. Start Ish Wainwright over Josh Okogie on that. I thought that was a very interesting thought when you think about that. And he did. He pretty much shut him down, but I don't think he'll start him. I think he may be one of the first guys off the bench when the claw's in, and then they'll rotate guys around. But you got to remember, I thought about them, but yeah, I mean,
he did a pretty good job.
The claw turned it on the last, 3 minutes of the game to win that last game against the Suns. But that was very interesting. He's a big body.
He is.
He's quick, big hands, and he's not afraid to get in your grill, but I don't think he would start him. That would be quite the change of one Monty Williams in reference to the way he handles his team.
Why not send a message right off the top?
He very well could. And I also agree with Tim in reference to the scenario of, hey, go deeper in your bench like you have all year long. Mm-hmm. Don't shorten it. Remember last year we talked about this,
They
Jimmy?
did shorten up big time.
I mean, all of a sudden you're up 2 on the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs went 1, 2, and all of a sudden he got to 7 or 8 guys.
Right.
And Dallas wins 4 in a row. So we'll have to watch that. And to that point, Jimmy, they've played a lot of basketball. Why wouldn't you play deep on your bench like they have been the whole year?
I'm with you 100%. It's going to be great. I can't wait for Sunday at 5 o'clock. All right, coming up, it's On This Day as we continue live from Wright Toyota. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
You're clear.
This is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
They've been blessed to have Hall of Fame level quarterback play for the last 30 years, Rob.
Yeah,
30.
it's unheard of.
There's some big-time football fans and players and head coaches who don't recall seeing the Packers without a great quarterback.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 4, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree man-sized drafts. Plus, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B every Thursday at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. Get to your favorite Twin Peaks Lodge today.
The right price, the right selection. It's all now at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Stop by today and see why Wright Toyota continues to be Arizona's top Toyota dealership, located just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and online at wrighttoyota.com.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep Plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended-release B vitamins.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on everything you need for spring, like 50 to 60% off suits, blazers, and pants from his favorite designers. Buy more, save more during the great shoe sale. Get 40% off 2 or more pairs, 30% off 1 pair. And get 30 to 70% off fine jewelry during our diamond sale. Plus, download the free Macy's app today for even more lowest prices of the season. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
The Drive with Jody Ayler, now in mornings. Tomorrow from 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
You're live.
Buddy, we are back, like it or not, and we're here until 4 o'clock. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD2. Also on the iHeartRadio app, and it is now time for On This Day.
Well, I'm sure this boxer you remember watching many, many times, Jimmy, back 34 years ago, 1989. Sugar Ray Robinson died in Culver City, only 67 years old. Sugar Ray was a 5-time winner of the World Middleweight Boxing Championship. Some people saying maybe one of the greatest boxers pound per pound that they've ever seen.
I agree with that 100%. I had a chance to talk with him early on in my career. Was a really nice guy, and he was indeed. I think the category which you'd reference, pound per pound, one of the best ever. I don't think he gets enough credit for that in today's world, but he was absolutely sensational.
When you looked at the the Jake LaMotta story?
Yes.
And Robert De Niro playing that, you watch those fights that LaMotta had with Sugar Ray back in those days, just knockdown, drag-out fights.
They were.
And Hollywood has the way of embellishing a little bit.
Well, sure, yeah.
But I will say this, in reference to what De Niro said about that movie, and in reference to the producers, those were really, those fighters fighting each other like that was just incredible fights.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the actual real fights versus the movie, you see these two just going at it and at it and at it. But lost way too young, only 67 years old, which leads him to another guy that died way too early. 42 years ago, 1981, heavyweight boxing legend Joe Louis died at the age of 66. He held the world title for 12 years and won 68 of his 71 fights. And I know that he was working in Vegas those last several years.
I met him there.
What was he like? Just a kind of a greeter?
Yeah, that's what he worked at.
One of the casinos.
Right.
But the one thing that you realize with both these individuals, they smoke quite a bit over the years. And you think that might have caught up, or who knows.
Well, that was the thing back then. You know that.
But think about that, Jimmy.
Everybody smoked.
67 and 66 years old. When you talk about Joe Louis, and just think of Joe Louis in today's arena, what he would do. I would have loved to see Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis, because Muhammad reminded me of Joe Louis, the style, the size. Now, Joe Louis didn't have quite the bravado that Muhammad Ali had.
And he didn't have the footwork that Ali had, but he had tremendous knockout power. And that's why he was so successful, as you referenced, 12 years holding the world title. Tremendous boxer.
If you get a chance, folks, there's a documentary on Larry Holmes, and I saw it the other night on HBO, talking about his being a sparring partner. A lot of you folks don't realize this. Larry Holmes was a sparring partner for one Muhammad Ali.
Correct.
Many years ago before he went on his own. And it's just interesting to see the end of Muhammad Ali's career against Larry Holmes. And Larry Holmes, quite frankly, took it easy on him on that last fight. And matter of fact, his trainer, who's Ali's trainer, called the fight.
Yeah.
About 8-9 rounds into that. And then to see Michael Spinks, Leon Spinks both not want to take it out on Muhammad Ali in 78, 79, and 80, those last couple years of Muhammad Ali. But Joe Louis was never like that.
No.
He quit at the top of his game.
He did.
Sugar Ray Robinson quit at the end of his game. You didn't see that from those boxers of yesteryear fight until they pretty much had to stop.
I can tell you this about Larry Holmes. He's a friend of mine for a long time. I worked in Philly, and of course, Larry was based out of Easton, PA, and the Easton Assassin. You remember that was his nickname. I covered several of his fights. He's a terrific guy, and he told me one time that was the worst fight that he ever had, because he knew Ali lost all that weight to get into shape, and he wasn't in good shape. And Larry was in the prime of his career and just pummeled him for like 9 or 10 rounds. In fact, he kept asking the referee about round 6 to stop the fight.
And they say that in this documentary, he questioned the official, to your point there, Jimmy, about having this and getting this thing stopped, because he really hated to hit him. But he knew he was winning the fight, but he just kind of took it easy on him in the last couple rounds. 96 years ago, and Jimmy was just a young buck back in 1927.
I remember that.
15 future Hall of Famers were on the field at the opening day game between the New York Yankees and the Philadelphia Athletics, including Ty Cobb, Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth, who went 0 for 3 in that game. You imagine that?
That's a lot. That's a lot of all-time greats.
I doubt there's any footage. There might be a little bit of footage for that to look and see those outstanding Hall of Famers. 1987, Larry Mize hits a 48-foot chip shot to defeat Greg Norman on the second hole of sudden death at the Masters.
3 minutes.
The Greg Norman fall apart, they would say. What was it, by 4 strokes, 5 strokes to start that round?
Yeah, it was almost Jean Van de Velde-ish is what it was.
Well, that, and then just to chip it in and just to see the look on Greg Norman's face. Like, I can't believe I lost it.
Yeah,
2021, this was a sad day, folks, as the Twins postponed their game against the Red Sox after the tensions engulfed the city following the killing of black motorist by a policeman during a traffic stop in the suburb of Brooklyn, that being one George Floyd in Minneapolis, and getting ready to go to trial and getting this thing to happen. Things just seemed to cease on that particular day. Yankees outfielder Aaron Hicks, who began his career with the Twins, also decided to sit out that game, feeling unable to concentrate on baseball given that day that so much was happening on that particular day. And I'll never forget that. They shut that down, and they shut a lot of the city down in reference to all that happened on that particular day.
George Floyd incident. You got that right. Look, this was I guess on this day, I want to reference back to something, and that is the 96 years ago, 1927, and you reference some of the players that were on the baseball field. One of them was Ty Cobb, Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth.
That's what I just said.
I know that, but the other guys that were there were also all-stars, and this was, I guess, the true breakout, I think, of all-star games for Major League Baseball, when everybody really said, oh, man, Major League Baseball, look at all the all-stars. This is when I think it really came into prominence as turning into the all-star game,
well,
which it still is.
Did you broadcast that game, Jimmy?
I was close. They asked me to do it, but I was only 9.
And then, Jimmy, just for clarification, this was a regular game. It wasn't an all-star game. It was a regular.
I thought it was a regular game.
No, just a regular
all-star game. Okay,
no,
my bad.
It was the Yankees and Athletics. It was not the all-star game.
Thank you.
Now, I can imagine the all-star game that year.
Right.
That they started having the all-star games to have all these outstanding players on the field. That might have been an era when people started paying attention to the greatness with those all-star games. But this was an actual game between the Yankees and the Athletics.
Thank you for the correction. I appreciate that. All right, we've got a lot of stuff coming up for you in the second hour. Our campus quickies are going to be on the way. We'll talk about the annual spring games for Arizona State, University of Arizona, also Northern Arizona as well. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Are you a fan of spring games? That's what I want to know, being a football guy, Manuch.
I'm a fan of any game, anytime, anywhere that has a football incorporated. I actually watched the XFL the other day.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm waiting for I think the USFL starts here pretty soon. I think April 26th.
Something like that.
The weekend of the draft. Funny how that happened.
Yeah.
But I watched 10 minutes of the XFL game the other day on
10
Sunday.
minutes?
Yeah. It's about all I could take, but I like listening to the guys and all the stuff going on. Yes.
All right. I was just curious if you were a fan of spring games. It's always, I guess, the thing for fans to get excited about if you're a fan of that school. All right, Campus Quickies are on the way. We will come right back as we continue to broadcast live here at Wright Toyota. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Are you living paycheck to paycheck only to find yourself going backwards financially each month? Nobody wants to file bankruptcy, but at many times, it's the best choice. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and that it will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. In most cases, filing bankruptcy can improve your credit. At Lerner Rowe Law Group, our bankruptcy lawyers only work on bankruptcy cases, and we can file your bankruptcy with $0 down.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. Hey, Arizona, if you're shopping for a new or certified used vehicle, visit any one of your 13 Valley Chevy dealers for the best deals and offers on trucks, crossovers, SUVs, and cars. The Silverado is the #1 best-selling full-size light-duty pickup. So check it out during truck season going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers or visit valleychevy.com. Based on S&G Global Mobility 2022 calendar year end, U.S. new vehicle registrations using GM custom retail registration type in the GM half-ton large pickup segments.
Did you know your completely free iHeartRadio app is also your home for hit podcasts? New for you this week, check out On Purpose with Jay Shetty, discussing philosophy, life, and conversations with the biggest stars in the world. Listen today on your free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio! iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
The Diamondbacks are in the middle of their midweek matinee, closing out their 3-game set with the Brewers. The NBA has released its complete first-round playoff schedule. The Suns will face the Clippers in Game 1 Sunday afternoon. Game 2 on Tuesday, with Games 3 and 4 in Los Angeles Thursday and Saturday. The Cardinals are hosting ex-Texas Tech edge rusher Tyree Wilson today. That's one of their top 30 pre-draft visits. Former TCU running back Kendry Miller also on the meeting schedule. And the U.S. men's national team has released their roster for the squad's April 19th friendly against Mexico at State Farm Stadium. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Temperatures starting to cool down a bit as we head into the middle portion of the week. Temperatures today right around 94 degrees with plenty of sunshine and breezy conditions. Tonight, clear skies with those temperatures dipping down into those low 60s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Save up to $100 on select sets of 4 in-stock Pirelli tires, $80 on sets of 4 select in-stock Nexen brand tires, and $70 on sets of 4 national brand tires at Big O Tires. Excludes National Road Max ST. Installation charges extra required on all tires. Disposal fee, shop fees extra low permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers at participating locations.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, we're going to get into the Diamondbacks and what took place last night and how they are faring right now in an afternoon game against the Milwaukee Brewers. But we want to remind you, the best place to watch the Diamondbacks, to watch the Suns, to watch the Cardinals, to watch the Coyotes, to watch AS. I could go on and on and on. It is the CAZ Sports Bar. It's Casino, Arizona, and they have all of the major league games, the NBA, the NHL playoffs, everything that you want to watch. It's all there at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book. They have great food and drink prices, and while you're there, you can wager on your games at the CAZ Sports Book. Once again, it's all at Casino, Arizona.
Well, Jimmy, so far you talked about those Diamondbacks, and here they are in the middle of the fifth. They're up 5-0. Jameson's doing a pretty good job so far. Ginkla's come in. Currently, Nelson's in the game after 5 innings. Only 4 hits given up by this Diamondback pitching staff. Junk still in the game. It lasted 4 innings, and he's going to be replaced here, but he gave up 7 hits. 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs. But the D-backs, after losing 7-1 last night, bouncing back so far in this game, leading 5-0.
You know, I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far from the Diamondbacks, and I know that for the last few years that impressed has not been the term that you and I would use.
I would say that terminology has been rarely used in talking about the Diamondbacks the last couple of years.
Exactly, but I am. I just think it's wonderful how they have come out of the blocks. Look, they're not the Tampa Bay Rays, who won again last night, by the way, but they are off to a terrific start in a very difficult division which is the West.
Well, I think if you look about Zach Gallen's performance a couple nights ago and Merrill Kelly's performance pitching last night, I mean, he's throwing a no-hitter.
Right.
Until the roof exploded literally on this team as the Brewers got 5 runs in the top of that 7th inning. So you look at it and you look at Jameson and the bullpen today, how well he's doing so far in this game and the relief he had. So you look at Jameson, look at his numbers after 4 innings, just gave up 3 hits, had 4 strikeouts. And so far, and then Ginkel gave up a hit. Nelson, who's now in the game, has given up no hits. So the one thing I think when you get these pitching performances, and I think this team realizes, is get that run support for the Zach Gallens of the world and for the Merrill Kellys of the world. Where last year you saw some pretty good pitching performances by this staff, but they just couldn't produce any runs. Or the other side of that coin was they'd have a good pitching performance and they'd get the run support, but then the bullpen could not hold the lead.
Right.
So we saw that many, many times last year where a lot of folks, I think the numbers shown that if the Diamondbacks would have had a chance to win 20 of 25 games with the numbers because of the lack of the bullpen, they might have made the wild card maybe by 1 or 2 or been there in the hunt for the wild card. So off to a good start.
They are.
Getting those stolen bases, getting a little more pop in the bats from some of their guys, and I think that's going to be a good combination. Gurriel's homered so far in this game for the D-backs.
The Coyotes are going to close out the season tomorrow night. They will host the Vancouver Canucks at the Mullet. Yotes, by the way, have dropped 10 of their last 12. But that's not the story for me. We all knew that it was going to be a sad season, and essentially that's exactly what it turned out to be, with the exception of Clayton Keller, who had a spectacular season scoring. But I found this really, really interesting, Manuch. Have you ever been to Australia?
I've never been there. No, I haven't.
I have not either, and I would love to go, but the NHL is headed to Australia because the league announced the Coyotes and the LA Kings will play 2 preseason games at the tennis stadium in Melbourne, the Rod Laver Tennis Stadium, where they open up, and it's a huge stadium for tennis, and it also has a retractable roof, so if the weather's bad, it won't be an issue. And the games are set for September 23rd and 24th. It's all part of the new 2023 NHL Global Series.
It reminds me of when the Diamondbacks went over there and played the Dodgers in the opening of the season. This is probably going back 10, 11, 12 years ago. And they went over there and they opened up their season over there.
Right.
In baseball. Now, baseball's big in Australia. As far as hockey's concerned,
yeah, I know.
that's a whole new realm. Now, it's interesting because I know that Gary Bettman, the commissioner for the NHL, wants to expand the hockey in the way that it is, but this is a whole nother scenario when you think about that.
Time be kangaroo down.
Well,
sport.
I guess, but aren't their seasons reversed? Isn't it like
yes?
I think
when it's winter, it is summer.
Yeah,
there.
They've got flipped. So our end of our summer coming to an end will be their winter. But to get the ice from melting and in the Rod Laver Center and all that, it'll be very interesting. I'll be curious to see what kind of crowds show up.
Oh, they'll pack the joint.
Oh, I'm sure that they will.
They will.
But how about that? But it reminds me a little bit when Major League Baseball opened up, like they did in Japan several years ago with Major League Baseball, and then Major League Baseball in Australia. But hockey, we know that basketball, we know that football, we know that Australian rules football, we know that basketball, we know that every sport is very big in Australia, but the NHL. So their foray into the National Hockey League, and hopefully, listen to this one.
Okay.
We'll catch up with Steve Peters, who's a guest very, very often, Rock's neighbor, former assistant coach for the Yotes. We're going to catch up with him at 2:30, unless he threw this at me, unless he's got to do his interview with the commissioner, Gary Bettman. I'm like, you damn name dropper. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Big time on us. He is big time.
Don't let Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B get in the way of your interview with the commissioner of the National Hockey League. I feel like I'm going to text him back and say, hey, put the commission on hold. You can always talk to the commissioner. It's very rare you get the chance to Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B at the same time.
You know, I wonder if he's trying to barter to have a chance to go on this trip to Australia.
I don't know.
I know I would.
His talk, his interview, or what do we got going on here, Steve? You going back to work for the NHL or what? Look at him with the name drop. Well, I might be available if I'm not being interviewed by the commissioner.
That's classic.
Put the damn commissioner on hold. Okay? Oh, goodness. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Then he dropped that on you. That's great. Hey, the Suns are going to play Sunday night, 5 o'clock downtown at the Footprint Center. The L.A. Clippers, if you've been under a rock, will be the opposition. I'm really looking forward to this particular matchup. To me, the best first-round matchups, at least in the Western Conference, features the Clippers and the Suns, and also Golden State and the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good one. So the Lakers and Memphis doesn't grab you right there, Jimmy?
It does, but now I just think that the Suns-Clippers has more juice than that. I know the national networks say, the Lakers are back. LeBron's going to lead them. This is going to be fun. No. That's not the case. Where we work, the Suns are always the lead story. And I just find it so interesting that on ABC is going to carry the Warriors and the Kings, and it's the first time the Kings have been on a national television network. I believe it's 2007.
Well, that's the last time they're in the playoffs.
That's it.
So it coincides with that 16-year hiatus. Yeah, it was interesting listening to ESPN, a little bit of a different tone about the LA Lakers. A couple of them saying, well, they dodged a bullet, they dodged a missile from Minnesota, who I felt should have won that game last night, quite frankly. Could have won that game very easily. But they couldn't hit the water from the boat in the fourth quarter.
Correct.
In that fourth quarter. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting to see how Russell Westbrook, how he handles everything. And that you talk about with Powell and Eric Gordon and, Batum, who could talk about a guy that was lost in the last game against the Suns.
He was.
But you know what? I really feel that Kawhi Leonard's kind of the de facto guy who is going to be the guy that in closeout time that the Clippers are going to go to.
He's going to have to score 30 every night for the Clippers to have a chance to win.
Whether it's Josh Okogie or Ish Wainwright or whomever,
right?
You know what? If you're the Suns, use the fouls on him. Beat him up. Get in his grill. Force him outside. If he comes to the rack, give him a little forearm shiver once in a while. Have your guys go deep in that bench and make sure you got your best guys on him, because I think he is the de facto, Jimmy. I really do. Especially when we saw him, what he did to win that game against the Suns last game of the year.
Right, he took over.
He took over the last 3.5
5 minutes. Yeah,
he's kind of. I feel he's the guy. If you get in his grill, beat him up a little bit. If you get him and not give them the chance to get back into the games, that's what the Suns are going to have to emphasize.
I'm really looking forward to this series. I want to see what Westbrook does for this Clippers team against the Suns. And I want to see who's going to guard Westbrook. You can't put Chris Paul on him.
1 minute.
Is Booker going to be the guy? Are you going to try to mix and match a little bit against Westbrook? Look, Russell Westbrook is a gifted athletic freak. And he just went through a bad stretch in the last 2 years of getting bounced around all over the NBA, and his game went to hell in a handbasket.
Well, let me riddle me this, Batman.
Okay.
So if you put D Book on him, does it take away his offense and you got to put him defensively on Westbrook?
That's a fair question, but no, I don't think it does, because until Westbrook proves it, I think you can play off of him for the outside shot for a little while. If he make a couple in a row, then you're going to have to D up a lot tighter. But I don't think that would be that tiresome on Devin Booker, at least in the first game or two of this series. All right, when we come back, it's our Valley Chevy Dealers Sounds of the Night. And we're going to have it all for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, we are going to have as well, I always love this, when we have the guys on as we do our spin around for the Campus Quickies. It's all on the way, everybody, as we dive into the NBA playoffs, and it is next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Thursdays at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. The guys broadcast live from 1 of 5 Valley locations. And tune in at 2:45 for Peaks Picks, your chance to win a Twin Peaks man card. It's Guys Live every Thursday at Twin Peaks.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe, here to tell you the biggest thing I've learned about insurance companies over the years, and it's really simple. They don't care about you. That's it. Insurance companies are publicly traded companies who have an obligation to their shareholders to deliver profits. They have teams of investigators, adjusters, and lawyers all working against you from the moment you call them, and they want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. Hurt in a wreck? Don't be a victim of the insurance companies. Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe, way to go. Call 977-1900.
Truck season is going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers. Great offers going on now on trucks, SUVs, crossovers, and cars. See your Valley Chevy dealers for great deals happening right now during truck season, or visit valleychevy.com. That's valleychevy.com.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
Evans Edwards, the switch on defense now on Prince. LeBron takes it in, gets it out, Schroeder.
Thank you to TNT for that highlight. We appreciate it. Sounds of the night right there. And that was a big one as the Lakers took the lead over the Minnesota Wolves with 1.4 seconds left. Then it was a foul by Anthony Davis on Mike Conley as he tried to shoot a three-pointer that would have tied the game. And that sent Mike Conley to the line. He had not shot a free throw the entire game, and he made all 3 free throws, sent the game into overtime. The Lakers eventually won 108-106. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. All right, Manuch, let's start first with the Atlanta Hawks win over the Miami Heat, and it took place in Miami. And the Atlanta Hawks looked sensational in that game.
Well, they jumped on them right from the get-go.
They did.
I mean, they got all over them, and next thing you look up, it's like 15-3, and these guys are going all over. They outscored them 36-27 in that first quarter. It just seemed like Miami just – I don't know. It seemed a little bit like watching that fourth quarter in the Minnesota Lakers game. They just seemed to have a tough time to get back in rhythm, get on track.
They were running in mud.
They were. Jimmy Butler struggled again. And again, it's just you're waiting for Jimmy Butler to be that breakout guy in the playoffs on a consistent basis. But you just saw, Trae Young and this group just get off to Big Star Young and Murray at their way.
Yeah.
And it just seemed as though everybody was counting Atlanta out on this one, that the Miami's going to roll, Miami's going to move on.
Yep.
And just basically, it seemed as though they had that proverbial boulder on their shoulder. And it just seemed like that they had the energy, they had the panache, if you will, going to the rim, aggressive rebounding. And pretty much at the end of the game, they're just kind of taking over and getting after it, even though they got outscored. Miami tried to make a run, but you're coming from too far down.
One of the things that really stood out to me was the defensive play of the center, Clint Capella. He had a sequence where he blocked 3 shots, 1, 2, 3, just like that, all on the same play. And then after the third, he sprints down the floor and he ends up getting a dunk at the other end. He had 20 rebounds. He was spectacular defensively, Clint Capella. Now, what will take place is that the Hawks will play the Boston Celtics, and it'll be the loser of tonight's game, Toronto and Chicago, and they will be matched up then against Miami.
Well, and then, Jimmy, you got to look at the Hawks bench. They scored 53 points. Think about that. You got all 4 guys off the bench in double figures. And for me, watching that game, they didn't miss a beat, literally.
Right.
They'd come in, and guys would just pick up where they left off. I thought, quite frankly, what a well-coached game And what's his name from Miami Heat, the head coach?
Spoelstra.
Yeah,
Eric Spoelstra.
he got out coached.
He did.
He got out coached.
Yeah.
I mean, they really had no answer, but I mean, just to see the consistency that you saw. And I think that those are some of the things that at least stood out in my mind is watching the kind of the want to. And in the NBA, you just never know who's going to be up for those games. So Atlanta's moving on. Now the Heat have got to wait.
All right. So in Los Angeles last night, the Lakers beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in overtime. First 3 quarters of the game, it was sensational. And then the fourth quarter got there, and it felt like both teams forgot how to play basketball, Manuch. It was terrible. 19-12 is what the scoring was in that quarter.
I think I texted you. I said that was some freaking ugly basketball.
You called it brutal.
That was brutal to watch that. I mean, does anybody want to make a basket? Does anybody want to not throw the ball away? Prince threw one in the 5th row.
He did.
I mean, and you had Anderson giving it up.
Yep.
Bad passing, but to the
Lakers.
The term I want to use is to their defense.
Okay.
Their defense. So I did that, Jimmy. Really stepped up in that fourth quarter.
It did.
Because Minnesota couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah.
How many shot clock violations did they have in the fourth quarter?
I think I remember 3.
At least 3 to 4.
Yes.
Didn't even get a shot off.
Uh-huh.
Now, you got to look at Minnesota being shorthanded. We know that.
Yeah.
But Edwards had a horrific game. He seems to be a Suns killer when he plays the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Horrific game. They collapsed on defense. Defensive perimeter was outstanding. But then the Lakers would come down and they would cough it up.
Yeah.
LeBron throwing the ball away.
He did.
I mean, LeBron, I got to tell you what, he's a great player, right? But you start to see the age creep in on him at certain times during the game.
He's 38.
38. So
he played over 40 minutes and scored 30 points.
My point, Jimmy, is you're starting to see age creep in where
I know.
In yesteryear, LeBron would get open down that court and we'd make those shots. He'd make those passes, or he wouldn't kick it out, which he did to Schroeder.
He made the smart play.
So that fourth quarter and then leading into overtime, I'm like, would somebody please like to win this game? And I was hoping Minnesota would, because I can't stand the Lakers.
I know you don't.
Just cannot stand the Lakers. LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I know.
And all that stuff that they have. But quite frankly, talk about a team in wet cement. That was the Minnesota Timberwolves in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were.
Hey, a walloping 19-12 victory by the Lakers in the fourth quarter.
The Wolves now will play the winner of tonight's contest between Oklahoma City and New Orleans. The Heat will play the winner of the Toronto-Chicago Bulls game tonight. So the Lakers now are matched up against Memphis, and the Hawks will be matched up against the Boston Celtics. All right, to tonight's game. DeMar DeRozan is going to go back to Toronto, and where he won an NBA title. Now he plays for the Chicago Bulls. I watched his interview earlier this morning on TV. He said it is going to be nuts in that building, and he said the temperature in that building is just going to be off the chart.
You know, I look at Toronto, and I go, they've got an NBA title, and the Suns don't.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and go, so you hope the Suns are due. But, yeah, I look at this game here, and you think of the Raptors, who are a 6-point favorite going into this game, but you would think that they'd take care of business. Well, we thought about that with Miami and Atlanta last night as well, too, with the home game there in Miami. But DeRozan, it's interesting you talk about that going back. I mean, he's when he wants to be, he's unstoppable.
Right.
But again, how much are they going to rely on him for this play-in game?
Well, they can go to Zach LaVine, too.
Well, exactly right.
And I expect him to have a big game tonight. He's going to have to, because he's going to have to compete with Pascal Siakam and also OG Anunoby. This is going to be a very, very interesting game because these two teams pretty much mirror each other when they are on the court.
You know, it's interesting. You look at both these teams. You look at the Bulls are 40-42, 41-41 by the Raptors. Just goes to show you that mediocre basketball can go into a play-in game.
Yes.
But I think sometimes, like we saw in the Lakers' fourth quarter in Minnesota, you see why these teams are where they're at with some really ugly basketball. Now, to that point, as we saw with the with the Atlantic team is their bench really stood up.
Their bench was sensational
53
last night.
points.
Yeah.
So when you look at these playing games, you look at the bench or how much you're going to have to expound as much energy to get to the playoff situation. So in the point of this game with the Raptors and Bulls, you got to get there first. It's one and done.
That's it.
Well, excuse me, or you go to the losers bracket.
Right.
But you look at this, so I think that a couple things come into play when I watch these games. And now I know why that they struggled the entire season. A star here and a star there, but not the complete team. So again, I think this will be a toss-up there in Toronto.
Okay, fair enough. Oklahoma City playing against the Pelicans in New Orleans. Look, New Orleans gave the Suns all kinds of trouble last year, and Zion Williamson did not play. Now, the latest on Williamson is that he has been cleared to start doing some workout activity, but he comes out and he says, I'm not getting on the court until I feel like Zion. That's what he said.
I have never seen this so-called superstar come out of college and play the least amount of basketball for his status ever in my life of seeing all these great players come out of college for many, many years.
Greg Oden comes to mind.
Yeah, Greg Oden.
And also Sam Bowie out of Kentucky as well. Those are the other two guys.
Two good ones there.
Yeah.
But this kid came on the scene. He exploded on the scene.
He did.
He reminds me of a more athletic Charles Barkley. Size, ability, all the above. Charles was phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. He's a phenomenal basketball player. But this kid gets up, when he's healthy, gets up and down the court. But I think a lot of folks will give Charles enough credit for his longevity, his stamina, and he didn't get hurt that very often. He was very durable from that. But Zion Williamson, could you mix in a game once in a while? Please, at any particular time.
And a salad, please.
Yeah,
salad.
He's put a few LBs on.
Well, he lost. He put a lot of weight on and he lost it. They interviewed him the other day about his injury and when he's coming back, and he looked heavier.
Yes.
And he said that he's healthy, but it's a matter of up top mentally if he can come back.
Well, he's got that seafood diet, you know. Everything he sees, he eats.
And they extended him too over the offseason.
Can we get a rim shot after that one, please? Find a rim shot for that's a bad joke.
But I like the Pelicans still in this game. You know what? For me, it's fun to see these teams get in. Would love to see Memphis sweep the Lakers. But on top of that, at this point in the NBA, Jimmy, I guess why I'm intrigued. Again, parity throughout the NBA. And to see these teams play, because I was dialed in on that Lakers Minnesota game.
I was too.
I was dialed in. Yeah. I was keeping you up, going, what the hell is this?
We were texting.
Is this NBA?
We were texting back and forth, going crazy. Well, Manuch, this is why we get along, at least sometimes, because we are both late night dudes. We're up. Those are our hours of operation.
And we wonder sometimes if that's actual pro basketball that's being played, or baseball or football, whatever's on late at night like that.
All right, everybody, coming up as we continue here from Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. They are working hard here. Lots of cars to look at, and plenty of folks are here buying new vehicles and also certified pre-owned vehicles as well. Our campus quickies are on the way. The spring games are coming up this weekend for ASU and U of A. We'll get you caught up on all of that. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Coyotes will play a pair of preseason games in Australia next season. They'll face the LA Kings for exhibitions on September 23rd and 24th as part of the NHL Global Series. The D-backs are in the middle of their midweek matinee, closing out their 3-game set with the Brewers. The NBA has released its complete first-round playoff schedule. The Suns face the Clippers in Game 1 Sunday afternoon, Game 2 on Tuesday, Games 3 and 4 in L.A. Thursday and Saturday. The Cardinals are hosting ex-Texas Tech edge rusher Tyree Wilson today.
Okay, give me one sec.
Top 30 pre-draft visits. Former TCU running back Kendry Miller also on the meeting.
Go for it. Okay.
you here for the new Coco 5 Performance Center, Bell Bank Park, located in Southeast Mesa, the premier training facility in the Southwest. The state-of-the-art facility is 25,000 square feet, which combines junior high, high school, and college teams, as well as individual athletes of all ages. And it's the new home for my quarterback training. They have the best team of coaches led by Olympic gold medal winner Dan O'Brien. If your son or daughter wants to get bigger, stronger, and faster, then you need to call Coco 5 Performance Center now. Sign up by calling at 480-572-0647, and one of their team members will get you the type of training specific to your sport. That's 480-572-0647, or go online to legacyperformanceaz.com. And for a limited time, mention me, Dan Manucci, and they will give you your first session free on me. Again, that's 480-572-0647, or go to legacyperformanceaz.com.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcast live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the Guys, live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
GiveMeTheVin.com is paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family.
Coming back, I got your
Extraordinary
first
runs
guess.
in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Every member is waiting to impress. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
Campus Quickies, your weekly quick fill of Wildcats, Sun Devils, Lumberjacks, and Lopes info.
Keep this all on scripture. All right, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, as we continue to broadcast from Wright Toyota. And time now for our Campus Quickies, and we begin with ASU. And that means Hode Rubino is our guest, ASU, SunDevilsDigest.com. You can always follow Hode on Twitter at at Devils Digest. Hode, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. How are you, pal? Are you excited about the spring game?
Yeah, I think a spring game is definitely going to be entertaining than it has been in the last several years, just because we know we're going to see a live segment. Aside from the quarterbacks, everybody's going to be fair game in terms of hits and explosive plays. So, I'm really curious to see how the team does perform on Saturday. They did have a scrimmage on Tuesday just because they had to postpone the one they had originally scheduled for last Saturday. It definitely was a scrimmage where the defense dominated for about 75% of the segment. So curious to see if the offense can come back on Saturday and redeem itself some and really make the scrimmage much more evenly matched than it was just yesterday.
What's your thought process when you just told everybody that it's going to be like a regular game? They're not going to protect the QBs. What's your thought on that?
No, they are protecting the QBs.
They are going to
No,
protect
they are protecting the QBs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
what you
right.
said, Jimmy. They're going to protect them.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that I heard that correctly. Okay, cool. All right, we're good. Because I know Manuch. Manuch wears a red jersey when he comes and does the show.
Yeah, but guys, here's the thing. Back in the day, we were not protected. And to that point, everybody being live, as you said there, Hode, what are some of the things offensively we're hoping to look for a lot of the fans are going to come out there to Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cush Field, and then defensively, what can they look forward to?
Yeah, I think offensively, I really like to see this offensive line, kick up a few notches. I mean, it's a given that ASU is going to seek help in the transfer portal. They already did actually land one offensive lineman from the portal. I think they could add, if not one, maybe even two. But I like to see this offensive line do a better job pass protecting, better job opening gaps for a very talented group of running backs. Again, I don't want to put too much stock in what we saw in yesterday's scrimmage, but it wasn't a great performance by the offensive line by any means. So when you have a live segment, again, everybody aside from the quarterback, I definitely look at the battle in the trenches.
I have Steve
to see how they can perform over there. In terms of the defense, I don't know if it really there's a whole lot of tweaking to do over here, because I thought that not only yesterday in the scrimmage, but really throughout the entirety of spring practice, I think that's one side of the ball that really displayed more consistent, positive performances compared to the offense. But I think in the secondary, you would like to eliminate some explosive plays, because I think when it comes to the playmakers for Arizona State, running backs, definitely tight ends, as well as wide receivers, there definitely is a potential over there to embarrass, if you will, the defense. So I'm curious to see how the secondary does perform. I will say that in terms of pass rushing capabilities, and sure, it's only spring practice, but I've been really, really impressed with the edge players for the Sun Devils, and I think that could make a huge difference just for the rest of that side of the ball if you can have consistent pass rush from your edge position, something that definitely was severely lacking in 2022.
Oh, what time are things going to kick off? Any kind of activities, autograph signing, all the above? What's kind of the agenda for the day on Saturday? Free beer?
Yeah. As you know, Manuch, they're really just having this start right at the end of Pat's run. So Pat's run ends, I believe, around 10 o'clock in the morning, and 10:30 in the South Concourse. They're going to have a meet and greet of the players with the fans, and then they're going to have interviews with some Sun Devil greats, also with obviously head coach Kenny Dillingham and members of the staff. And then I would say about 11:45, you'll see him on the field warming up and really kicking off things at 12 o'clock. I'm really curious to see how many fans will actually attend this event. I know that ASU football from top to bottom has done a great job marketing this event and really encouraging folks to come. And again, obviously the building on the folks that are going to attend Pat's run earlier that morning to attend the event. But I just think really, when it comes to just everything surrounding the event and the event itself, really featuring more live segments that we've seen in a long time, I think it's really all shaping up to be a great Saturday in Tempe.
And they will be protecting the quarterbacks, you said,
I want to make sure of that. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Hode. You have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
You got it, man. There you go. All right. Let's go to the University of Arizona. And that means that Steve Rivera, the co-host of Eye on the Ball, Fox Sports 1450, you can always find Steve on Twitter at Steve Rivera 95. Steve, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. Welcome as always, pal. All right, I want to start with hoops first. There's been an awful lot of conversation about a certain guard out of Creighton. I'll let you fill in the blank. Is Arizona going to get him, or is that just media hype?
No, I think there's a lot of facts to it. There is a connection. The kid was coached. His brother was coached by Tommy Lloyd at Gonzaga, so there's a connection there. Timing is perfect. Kerr decided to leave to go to West Virginia, and this kid, I'm not sure what's taking long, but he decommitted from or decided to transfer from Creighton a week or so ago, more than a week ago now, and we're just waiting. I think it's pretty much a done deal. I could be wrong. But we'll see what happens. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Steve, we talk about before we talk about the spring game. How much Tylenol did it take to get over that hangover with this basketball team this year?
For me, zero. I'm how can I say this? I'm Tylenol immune. I've been through too many of them.
Okay. I can only imagine. Well, we'll put that to rest. But yeah, we'll be anxious to see what other movement There is down there with the basketball team. The big U of A scrimmage down there on Saturday. Kind of give us an idea what time, meet and greets, coaches signing, all the above, and what do you feel the mantra will be for this spring game coming up here on Saturday?
I think the mantra is have fun, show that the football program is kind of getting back to whatever it used to be. There's everyone talks about potential 6-7 wins. I think that's a little bit optimistic, but if they get to 6 or 7, that's a very good season. They're bringing in McAllister, one of the great Gronk's brothers, going to be Chris Gronkowski, going to be here. A lot of the alums, 240 alums, are going to be here for golf and fun. Kind of rejuvenating the fan base again and the past, because it needed it, no question. Starts at 3. It's only going to be 100 and 120, right?
Yeah, that's all. That's all. Yeah.
That's fun.
But it should be fun. It should be fun. Jed is anticipating more than 10,000 people. That's pretty generous, and he's pretty optimistic, so good luck with that.
Okay, I'll let you go on this question. It seems that the Pac-12 television rights, once again, have kind of hit a roadblock, and now they say they were going to negotiate with the CW network, and now that's sort of fallen apart as well. Do you got any insight? Do you got any information at all what the latest is, or is it just still all up in the air?
And, Steve, is your podcast available to cover games next year? I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
No. I was going to say,
I have Mitch.
Us 3 combine our nickels, and we can have it in the XYZ channel. It'll be the After Dark show, and we can come on and have a little fun with the commentary.
Oh my gosh! Have you ever seen anything so messed up like this? When it's like this for the Pac-12?
It's unbelievable. Well, yes. Well, I've seen something worse in my love life, but that's.
And on that note,
yeah. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you as always.
Take care, guys.
All right, there you go, Steve Rivera. A little more information than what we needed. So that takes us now then to Northern Arizona University. And that means that Mitch Stroman is our guest. I'm assuming that his love life is just fine.
Yeah, so. Top that, Mitch.
Yeah, come on, Mitch.
We hope so.
You got to have something there.
No. I can't top that from Steve. My love life is secure. My wife is 22 years, and I'm happy to say it.
That was awesome. That was absolutely awesome.
Mitch, you keep shoveling that snow, she'll love you forever, man. I got to tell you that.
She may love me forever, but my back, my shoulders, my knees, they hate me forever right now. But I'm so glad, guys, that finally we have been able to dispatch some, not all, but some of the near record snowfall we had up here. And hey, the Lumberjack football team finally got outdoors on Monday and Tuesday for the first time in spring practice outside of the scrimmage we had at Saguaro High School in Scottsdale a couple of Saturdays ago.
All right, so they're going to scrimmage a little bit this weekend, right? Can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, I'm happy to. It's awesome. It'll be the final of the 15 spring practices. It'll be this coming Saturday afternoon, about 12:30 p.m. in the Walk-Up Sky Dome. Look for them to go roughly around 2 hours or so. Head coach Chris Ball will have the full-time scrimmage going, and it should be a real fun affair. It's open to the public, guys, and a lot of family friends will come up for the players,
1 minute,
student athletes. But Lumberjack fans from the Valley, you want to come on up and spend an afternoon up in the pine trees and see the Lumberjacks get an early peek at your NAU football team in 2023. Be a great time to do it Saturday afternoon at 12:30.
Mitch, you've been covering this team for 22, 23 years, somewhere abouts. Where is this spring team or this spring program different from, let's say, just several years ago? And are you seeing those building blocks start to come to fruition for Chris Ball in this program?
Second part of your question, the answer is real simple. It's yes, the building blocks are happening, Manuch. Seeing that happen, the program is really moving in an incredibly positive and exciting direction. And how do I compare this to most recent years?
Yes.
I would say the energy and the enthusiasm in this spring's practices have been pretty impressive. A lot of hitting, a lot of contact, a lot of emotion, a few scuffles there and there every once in a while, which you like to see as well. And it shows that the guys are engaged. But the thing, it's funny you asked me that question because I was out at practice yesterday, and one of the things that kind of struck me was how Chris Ball interacts with the guys. I mean, he can blow the whistle and get into you like any football coach you can ever imagine. But at the same time, he can be really playful and friendly, and he has such great one-on-one relationships with these guys. He's a player's coach, and it just shows watching him from the sideline interacting with these guys. It's a treat.
Okay, give us the itinerary for Saturday. Time starts, autograph signing, patting babies on the head, all kinds of stuff you're going to have going on up there.
Patting babies on the head. Get the voice of the Lumberjacks out there to say hi to. It's going to go about 12:30, and again about 2 hours. Okay. You'll see full contact hitting, ones versus ones, twos versus ones, the whole 9 yards. I think one of the things you're going to want to look for if you come up to the Sky Dome on Saturday, guys, is just watch the new quarterbacks. We got a couple of new guys that are in the mix, transfer from Montana, transfer from Cal in the Pac-12, and an Arizona kid who's been running a little bit with the ones lately, Angel Flores, the redshirt freshman. He's out of Casa Grande High School, and he's been getting a lot of snaps with the ones and has been showing off a pretty strong arm. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and this wraps it up for spring until we get ready to go down to Tucson on the season opener for 2023, and really excited, obviously, to get after it at the Arizona Wildcats.
And we're so glad that your love life is doing just fine.
Yeah, really.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Oh, my God, thank you.
All right, get out of here.
Hey, guys, it's always great to talk with you all, man. Go, Jack.
There you go. See you, Mitch. That's Mitch Stroman, NAU. All right, coming up, it's our random facts of the day, and it is next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
With inflation compensation, you can win $1,000. Listen at the top of the hour weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the keyword to enter at foxsports910.com. Sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, Arizona, it's your local accident attorney, Kevin Rowe. Results matter, so we want to help you win $1,000. Powered by Lerner and Rowe Accident Attorneys, where we treat you like family. In a wreck, need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today at 977-1900.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
When we make your meal, this is where we start. Traditional old world recipes passed down through generations. But then we add some modern flair and spice up your Italian dining with contemporary flavor combinations. The result, the perfect fusion of new and old world traditions. And a meal you'll never forget.
Inspired by the comfort and cuisine of a Brooklyn-style pizza parlor, Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar is located at the southeast corner of Loop 101 and Cave Creek Road in Phoenix.
Only 1 week left to file your taxes. But don't worry, Jackson Hewitt is racking up the assists. We guarantee your biggest tax refund and guarantee the accuracy of your return for life. So make a fast break to Jackson Hewitt. Our tax pros will get you filed or get you an extension before the deadline. Beat the clock and the crowds. Come in and file today. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
But not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Did you know that Troy Aikman in only 6 years has passed for 16,303 yards? Did you know the career record for most hits is 4,256 by Pete Rose, who was not in the Hall of Fame?
Do you know that my next door neighbor had 3 rabbits?
Now time for Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you the random facts of the day driven by your Valley Chevy dealers. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. For a dealer near you, head to valleychevy.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. Jax is here. We have Sandra back at the iHeart Studios doing yeoman's work for us because we need all the help we can get. It is indeed now time for our Valley Chevy Dealers Random Fact of the Day.
Now, this one won't surprise any of you out there that the world's priciest sandwich is back for National Grilled Cheese Day. The world's most expensive sandwich is back on the menu at a restaurant in New York for National Grilled Cheese Day. By the way, I love grilled cheese sandwiches.
I do too.
But I'm not going to pay this amount of money for grilled cheese. Now, here it is.
Yeah.
It's a grilled cheese made with truffle butter.
Okay.
Fancy Italian cheese.
You mean not just Italian cheese, but
it's fancy Italian cheese.
Got it.
Edible gold leaf. Ugh. And there's Dom Perignon champagne baked into the bread. Did I say there's Dom Perignon
yes.
champagne baked in the bread? One sandwich will cost you just a measly $214. Yeah, they probably don't mention that for a glass of water, it's probably $8 just to get it there. I saw one time they were pricing out steak places in New York City.
Okay,
there's one steak place that I think it's $150 for just the steak. It's an a la carte place.
Oh my gosh!
So you get the salad, you get the baked potato, you get the asparagus or the broccoli because you got to have something healthy there, right?
Well, I wouldn't do that.
You're out the door for a mere $375 for just you.
I do peas or carrots or corn.
Whatever. You're still out the door. This is very interesting. People around the world drink more goat milk than cow milk.
No.
You still drink milk, Jimmy?
Yes, I have it on my cereal.
Do you have 1% skim milk?
I'm a 2% guy.
Okay, I am the low fat and or skim milk guy. How about you,
I can't
Jax?
do skim milk.
Jax, are you one of those guys that
Jax needs
whole
skim
milk still?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a milk guy.
Yeah,
I don't have milk.
That's okay.
In my fridge.
So that might be the problem, right?
That's probably why I'm short. I didn't grow that much.
You get the extra bone. So, Jim, you still do milk in your cereal?
Absolutely.
Okay. I usually have one glass on that, but I do the Roc and Protein with a snack before I go work out the guys. Just get a little energy. From
I
that
love to dip my Oreo cookie in milk.
Yeah. But you got to, you know what? If you're going to dip cookies, folks, you got to have whole milk.
Yeah.
You can't have skim milk or 1% or 2% or low fat. Now, that's why I do have that 1/2 gallon of whole milk.
Okay.
When we do the, like you do the, or we have the Oreo Thins in the house.
Yeah.
Dip those bad boys. But if you're going to have a hot chocolate chip cookie and you don't do any kind of dipping, it's got to be whole
milk.
Yeah, it's got to be whole milk. Otherwise, it's sacrilegious to have skim milk. I'm gonna quiz you guys on this.
Okay.
90% of Americans live within 15 minutes of a Walmart.
Well, God, they're on like every corner.
Okay, how I can tell you mine right now.
Yeah.
It's all of maybe 3 minutes from our house.
Mine's much further than that. I would say that mine is probably 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, so it's within the hood there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's in,
It's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, you're right. They're like on every other corner.
They are. It's like Waffle House. I mean, they're like everywhere.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of like Costco. You walk in, up and down the aisles. Everything's so cheap, or it's on sale. You end up, you go, okay, I'm gonna spend no more than $150. $300 later. Yeah. But the other thing too is the Costco's are within your neighborhood. We got a Costco maybe just 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
That's the place where you go in and go, I'm not spending more than $200. I'm going to really do it this time. I'm not going to spend more than $200. $500 later,
here comes Manuch.
It comes out the door. Yeah, my lovely bride, she gets on a roll. I'm like, matter of fact, I just tell her, I said, before you leave, Just make sure we got enough money in the checking account. If there's any cash laying around, go get the coins over there in the big cup.
Otherwise,
maybe cash those bad boys in. Otherwise, she's coming home and say, how much it cost you this time?
Otherwise, you're going to be out on the corner with a lemonade stand trying to make that money back.
Oh, it definitely is. So those are our Chevy dealers' random facts of the day.
Random fact of the day brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. And when you're shopping for a new or certified used vehicle, you need to go visit Valley Chevy dealers today. Now, there are 13 dealers in the Valley offering the best deals and offers on trucks, crossovers, SUVs, and, of course, automobiles. Now, when you have the Silverado, which, by the way, is the #1 best-selling retail full-size light-duty pickup, you owe it to yourself to check it out, especially during truck season that's going on right now at your Valley Chevy dealers. See your Valley Chevy dealers today or visit valleychevy.com. And by the way, now make a note of this. Coming in the next couple of weeks, you're going to have a chance at winning a 75-inch smart TV from our friends at Valley Chevy. It will be a new text and win contest. Everyone can always make room for a 75-inch big screen. Details are coming. You can go to the website, rockandmanuch.com, for more information. But keep it locked right here, because in a couple of weeks, we will begin to tell you how you can win a new 75-inch big screen TV from our great partners at Valley Chevy.
You know, interesting, we had our campus quickies the last segment talking to Hode Rubino of DevilsDigest.com and Steve Rivera about the scrimmages.
1 minute.
And you're bringing it up about in reference to it. There's really no TV contract, and CW seems to have, pardon the pun, pulled the plug on any negotiations with them.
Well done.
This Pac-12 scenario for TV, for football, basketball, whatever, the Pac-12 network's not going to be it. This is embarrassing.
It is.
For the Pac-12 alumni, for all those folks to see that your TV or 2 years, if you don't move to a bigger conference, you're going to have to stream to watch your games, which would be very, very sad.
Amazing how this has happened. We'll dive into that in our next hour as well. Tim Kempton, Suns radio analyst, will be our guest, as well as Arizona Rattlers head football coach Kevin Guy. It's on the way, everybody. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 9.
You're clear.
Hey, Arizona, if you're shopping for a new or certified used vehicle, visit any one of your 13 Valley Chevy dealers for the best deals and offers on trucks, crossovers, SUVs, and cars. The Silverado is the #1 best-selling full-size light-duty pickup. So check it out during truck season going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers or visit valleychevy.com. Based on S&G Global Mobility 2022 calendar year end. U.S. new vehicle registrations using GM custom retail registration type in the GM half-ton large pickup segments.
It's the wind down in sparkling water. It's the zone out at the spa. The stunning sunsets at dinner. It's the escape you crave, and it's closer than you think. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation package, starting at $139 a night with no resort fee for Arizona residents. Exclusive spa specials and $25 in free slot play. Plus, enjoy great deals inside the Talking Stick Entertainment District, including Top Golf, Talking Stick Golf Club, Octane Raceway, and more. Summer Playcation, May 8th to September 15th at Talking Stick Resort. Turn it on.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
It's iHeartRadio. Playing now on your completely free iHeartRadio app, where the biggest stars in the world connect with you.
In this week's Marketers Report, Patrizio Spagnoletto, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct-to-Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on building trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
Precision Air and Plumbing is giving back to those that have supported us for over 25 years by giving away a new AC unit with installation to someone in need. Visit foxsports910.com, keyword precision, and nominate a family in need today.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage.
I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
The Diamondbacks are closing out their 3-game set with the Brewers with a midweek matinee. The Coyotes will play a pair of preseason games in Australia next season. They'll face the LA Kings for exhibitions on September 23rd and 24th as part of the NHL Global Series. The Cardinals are hosting ex-Texas Tech edge rusher Tyree Wilson today as one of their top 30 pre-draft visits. Former TCU running back Kendry Miller also on the schedule. The NBA has released its complete first-round playoff schedule. The Suns face the Clippers in Game 1 Sunday afternoon. Game 2 is Tuesday. Games 3 and 4 in L.A. Thursday and Saturday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword WIN at foxsports910.com. That's WIN at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
I look for clear skies with those temperatures dipping down into those low 60s. And then for your Thursday, temperature right around 81 degrees with breezy conditions. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, we're going to give you an update right now on the Arizona Diamondbacks matched up against the Milwaukee Brewers. And once again, they are currently still playing, but they are on the winning side.
Currently top of the 8th inning, winning a 7-3.
Okay.
And pretty big game so far. Josh Rojas, he's 2 for 3, got the 1 RBI. Gurriel having a big game, 3 for 4
okay.
for 3 RBIs. And you look as far as pitching is concerned, Jamison had a pretty good outing, only 4 innings, gave up just 3 hits. Had 4 strikeouts. Looks like the staff has only given up 9 hits completely. You had 5 guys come out of the bullpen to kind of save that arm, but jumping all over junk is what this Diamondbacks team did. He gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of those earned runs. And Corbin Carroll, a little pop.
All right.
In his bat, had another home run, had 404 feet. But the guy that's really coming on was Gurriel and Rojas, having some big games for the Diamondbacks. No stolen bases for the Snakes. Haven't had to.
That's interesting.
The bats have pretty much handled everything. And looking at some of the other guys have kind of struggled with their batting average. McCarthy's an 0-for. Still batting below the Mendoza line.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, not good. And Walker's still struggling at the plate. 0 for 4, 1 RBI. Only batting 178.
Ooh, boy.
So, but the D-backs look like they're in control unless the Brew Crew comes back, leading 7-3 in the top of the 8th inning.
And, of course, you can watch all the Major League Baseball games, including the Diamondbacks, at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. All of the games are there, including the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs, which will be starting soon as well. They have terrific food and drink specials, and, of course, the Sportsbook is right there. You can make your wagers and just sit back and relax and then collect the money when you are a big winner. Once again, it's all at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. Manuch, earlier in the show, we touched a little bit on the struggles of the Pac-12 and trying to secure themselves a television network that they believe would be worthy of the Pac-12. And right now, they thought they were going to have discussions with the CW network. They're involved with Live Golf, and the CW kind of said, we're going to go in a different direction. And so now, once again, they're in Nowheresville. What the hell is going on here?
Let me correct what you said.
Okay.
That the Pac-12 is looking for a TV network that would be worthy of the Pac-12.
Oh, fair enough.
No. It's a network that fills the Pac-12 is worthy of them broadcasting. So you flip the script there, Jimmy. That's the whole thing.
Okay.
Is what it sounds like. Not the Pac-12 going, well, are you worthy, ESPN or CW or whatever, to have us? No. No, it's finding somebody that fills the Pac-12 is worthy to put on that network and to have that kind of product. Now, I'm just glad the Big 12, and you look at the SEC, you look at the Big 10, the ACC, they're all going to be covered. This is outright embarrassing, if you want my honest opinion, about the Pac-12. That is why I think it is in the best interest for Arizona State, U of A, Colorado, Utah, to get on that train to the Big 12, wherever it is. Big 12, you got USC and UCLA leaving. They're gone to the Big 10. Those four individuals, what are you waiting for? Ray Anderson, Michael Crow. What are you waiting for, U of A? What are you waiting for? Why are you not always already have your negotiations settled that you're going to leave the Pac-12 in for the 24, 25, or 25, 26 season? Why are you not doing that? And when they say, when the Big 12 said as of a month ago,
right?
The commissioner said, we are open for business.
I remember that.
So what the hell is the holdup, ASU, U of A, Colorado, Utah? Maybe they're doing negotiations. If you're Ray Anderson and you're Michael Crow and you're not negotiating with the Pac-12, with the Big 12 right now, and you don't have one foot out the door and the other one coming, and somebody's holding that door for you, that is irresponsible for your teams, for your fans, for your alumni. If you're not looking to make the move to the Big 12, not today, like yesterday, what the hell are you waiting for? Now, I would hope, I'm just going to assume, Ray Anderson and Michael Crow, that you're going to do the right thing, that you are looking to go to the Big 12, and we should see some kind of announcement any day now that you are looking to move on. I don't care whether U of A's bought in or Colorado or Utah, that you, Arizona State University, are going to make, I don't know, maybe $50 to $70 million more per year, so you can get up to speed with facilities, you get up to speed with recruiting, you get up to speed with all the things that you're going to need.
NIL,
whatever, exactly, good point. In order to compete with the Big 12 and the big boy pond of recruiting, facilities, all the above. What you have over the Desert Financial Arena, not going to get it.
No.
When you want to get a top-notch basketball recruit, Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cushfield, it's adequate. All the new facilities you have over there as far as your training, whatever, okay. You've improved them, but you're going to need more than that. You need to go get dudes and entice them to come here. And if you don't go to another conference, i.e. the Big 12, to get that TV money, where are you going to go get that extra money from the NIL and recruiting standpoint and all the things you're going to need to compete with the big boys? Now, if you want to hang tight and be a third-tier program in a fourth-tier, I'll even say fifth-tier conference, well and good. Then if you're expecting big things from little input, then I think that's some of the things that you're going to have to deal with.
You know what's bad as the Pac-12? When a network as low, like when on the spectrum of networks, the CBS is the ESPN, the Foxes are on top.
Big boys.
CW declines you?
Yeah.
That is bad. I don't even watch the CW.
I don't even know where it is on my tree.
And they said no, that's bad for the Pac-12.
Here's the other thing, too. If you have to an Apple, you're looking at Apple for streaming? Seriously?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean that's
a better option than the CW.
I would, you know what? I would say that. Now, I would wholeheartedly agree with you, Jax. That is, but this is borderline embarrassing, and I don't understand why. I do not understand why the presidents and the ADs of those 4 schools I mentioned are not halfway out the door or have some kind of a deal arranged for you to make the move, because everybody, hey, when you see USC and UCLA, and if you're thinking, well, then we can be the next big boy in the league, we're going to stay and we're going to control the conference, my ass. You're going to be out $50, $75 million. If you want to be a big boy, then you got to go act like a big boy.
Hello to the Mountain West. Maybe you could be the big boy in the Mountain West if that's the case.
Well, I think if things, why would you want to go to the Mountain West?
I'm just saying.
12.
I'm just saying. Yes, that's.
It makes no sense to me why there would be any hesitation from any of those 4 presidents from Utah, Colorado, ASU, why they are not in negotiations, or they are not out the door for the 25-26 season. We'll give them this year, next year, and then move on from there. Now, when you look at the TV contract where they're at right now, and if you got to pay $100 million, okay. You want to hang tight for an extra year, so you have to pay that out and then go join. I get it.
Okay,
I understand from there.
We're going to stay with the TV theme here just for another story.
3 minute.
Because Manuch stumbled onto the XFL over the weekend. But now the USFL is going to start up here at the end of the month. And one of the USL's TV analysts is going to be none other than Cardinals QB Colt McCoy, Manuch.
Well, I could see a guy trying to delve into his next step of a
Sure,
career.
he wants to see if he likes it.
Sure, go in there, and it's not going to mess with his off-season workouts over there at the complex. Colt McCoy, I think he'd do a fine job. Speaks very well, got excellent football knowledge. USFL could use a young man like that. And is it NBC you said, Jimmy?
NBC.
Who's going to be the play-by-play guy?
Doesn't say.
But I think Cole will do a fine job. And a lot of guys.
Some of their other analysts are Cam Jordan of the Vikings and Kyle Rudolph of the Cowboys.
Again, guys that can speak, understand the game. It's just a matter of how you deliver the game. And I'm sure they'll do some testing.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll do some practice games and what have you. But how about that? USFL, is it the same weekend as the draft?
I think it is.
I believe it is.
I think it is the 28th. Yeah, I think that's it.
You got 27, 7, 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, good for Colt McCoy. It's just that the Arizona Cardinals, I like to see them make some moves for some more free agent, good, solid individuals and work from that standpoint.
The season actually kicks off this weekend.
Does this weekend?
April 15th.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So smart on their part.
You know what? What a dive for the USFL to start the same weekend as the draft.
I was just going to say, they wouldn't have any viewers, so that's a smart move on their part.
So they're starting on Deliver Your Taxes weekend, which aren't, folks, they aren't due till April 18th, so you get a little reprieve.
So, Manuch, this weekend, not only can you tune into an XFL game, you can also catch a USFL game as well, Mr. Football
I will
Boy.
probably watch a little bit of all, because there's
1 minute.
I think who's the guy up in Seattle seems to be the guy. Tom DiBonetti used to be Cowboys quarterback.
DiNucci.
Hey, yo,
DiNucci.
He seems to be the guy in the XFL that a lot of the young quarterbacks out there aspire to be. But you got dueling football with XFL, USFL, and not to mention the IFL as an indoor football league.
Right.
As the Rattlers will be playing this Saturday at the Footprint Center. Speaking of, we'll have Kevin Guy.
That's it.
The head coach at 3:30 for the Arizona Rattlers.
And coming up next, however, we're going to switch and talk some Phoenix Suns because Tim Kempton is going to join us. The Suns will play on Sunday, 5 o'clock, downtown at the Footprint Center against the Clippers. Kempton is next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Well, we're starting to see our standard delays right now on the drive through the downtown area on the I-10 westbound from the mini stack as you make your way over to 19th Avenue. That's going to be about a 4-minute delay. In the East Valley on the Loop 101 southbound near McKellips, we have a collision cleaning up off to the right. We've got several vehicles sitting over to the right side of the road. Expect delays back to McDowell. I'm Wendy Swanson with traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster. Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is the place to be. Tavern Grill is now the home of Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Tavern Grill Scottsdale at 8880 East Via Linda.
Shopping for a mortgage? Big bangs can be a big hassle. Call GC Global Capital and work with a local team of mortgage experts for great rates and lower fees, more options, and faster closings. Don't let your dream home purchase turn into a nightmare. Call the professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your local mortgage professionals.
GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License MB 0924983. An equal opportunity lender.
Truck season is going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers. Great offers going on now on trucks, SUVs, crossovers, and cars. See your Valley Chevy dealers for great deals happening right now during truck season, or visit valleychevy.com. That's valleychevy.com.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backup singers. So right before this important meeting, I get a text from EasyCater that the restaurant lost power. No electricity. And I'm like, are you kidding me? She said sarcastically. But EasyCater was like, don't worry. No sweat. They got another restaurant to fill the whole order. The whole order. And I was like, are you kidding me? But in a good way. Inflection is everything.
Problem with your order? EasyCater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants.
EasyCater.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
They got your back.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Cardinals' voluntary offseason workouts began yesterday. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is opting to train in Houston instead of at the Tempe facilities. The U.S. men's national team released their roster for the squad's April 19th friendly against Mexico at State Farm Stadium. YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul and MMA legend Nate Diaz will meet in the ring for an 8-round boxing match August 5th. They'll fight at 185 pounds. I'm Frank Garrity.
Stunning design, unmatched intelligence, and a compact ready for anything build. Sometimes exceptional is the rule. The Mercedes-Benz GLA, member of the unrivaled SUV family. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
Part of the Phoenix Suns NBA Finals team, NBA and Suns color analyst Tim Kempton now joins the Roc and Manuch show on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We continue to broadcast live until 4 o'clock today. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard is where we are located. And with that, we say good afternoon to Tim Kempton, longtime radio analyst for the Suns. And Tim, I just start right from the get-go here. I think a lot of people seem to think that because Paul George is not going to be able to play against the Suns, that fans seem to think that Phoenix is just going to have their way with them. I'm not so sure, Tim, that's going to be the case. I believe the Suns win the series, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to being easy.
Well, I don't think it's going to be easy, but I don't think it's going to be, 6 or 7 games beyond that as well. The games will be, challenging. The games will be competitive, I think, but for the most part, I think it doesn't go past 5. So I just don't think they have the depth. They don't have the talent to play with the Suns, over a series. So will the games be competitive? Yeah, I'm sure they will. Norman Powell's been playing extremely well. You got Eric Gordon who can shoot it from the parking lot. Ivica Zubac and Mason Plumlee in the middle are tough covers. They're big, they're physical, they rebound the basketball well, and as we know, the NBA likes to screw up the playoffs by turning it into a pseudo rugby match. So, the beauty of the game goes away, and all of it. I mean, did you watch those 2 games last night?
Yes. Oh my gosh, Tim! Oh my! As a matter of fact, that fourth quarter of that Lakers Timberwolves game, it was scruffalopolis. I was just sending that back to Sesame Street for crying out loud. I mean, that was hard to watch.
What was the score in the quarter? 19-12 in the NBA.
19-12.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the NBA thinks that's good basketball because it's atrocious. I don't know what the NBA is doing. They've got to. I've been saying it for years, and the NBA just keeps on letting it get worse and worse.
The other thing too is that when you watch those games, you see these teams are pretty much out of gas, and I think, quite frankly, call it load management or just chilling and like a villain or whatever you want to call it. It looked like the conditioning piece caught up with the Lakers from that standpoint. Now, obviously, Minnesota was shorthanded. We get all that, but you're right, Tim. That was just a bad brand of basketball all the way around. Watching that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean the turnovers. I mean, and how about Reggie Miller covering for LeBron James? LeBron James had a 4 or 5, and every time he would say, "Oh, what great defense by the Timberwolves," instead of calling out LeBron for throwing absolutely. How about that sideline out of bounds pass that Mike Conley stole and they had an opportunity? They said, "Oh, what a great play by the Minnesota Timberwolves." How about LeBron not throwing it? He wasn't even being guarded out of bounds. They took the defensive man off the ball. He's standing there without any pressure, and LeBron, the greatest of all time, throws it away.
Yeah, it was really hard.
I've got a question. I've got a question for you. How come he didn't put the crown on his head after he threw that pass?
Very good point. Very good point,
you are
Tim.
observant, Tim Kempton. I got to tell you.
That's why we love having you on the show, pal.
And Tim, to that point, how do you stay sharp when you literally have almost a week off in practices to avoid, I'm not scruffiness, to avoid some of the scenarios that you're not rusty, or at least you can knock it off there in maybe the first quarter, first half. Boy, how are you practicing to avoid some of that carelessness?
Yeah, you know as well as anybody, Dan. The only thing that keeps you sharp is competition, and that's actually what you're trying not to do this week. You're not trying to, get injured. You're not trying to be, get any bumps or bruises. So it's got to be short, intense. 5-minute scrimmages, trying to keep that edge. But I think the best case scenario is be healthy, be ready, and as you said, knock it off in that first game. Knock it off in the first quarter, the first half of that game, because that's exactly the other team's going to be in the same boat. They're sitting there trying those struggles and trying to deal with the same thing. The LA Clippers this week. So be ready, be mentally sharp. Be as physically fit as you can, but then hopefully you knock the game rust off in that first quarter, first half.
Timmy, tell me how the Suns then are going to try to defend the claw in Kawhi Leonard.
Ish Wainwright. We saw it in the last game. I thought that was one of the best things that came of Monty not playing his starters. Ish Wainwright. I've even said it out loud, and I'm saying it out loud to you guys. I would put Ish Wainwright in as the starter, the fifth starter, instead of Josh Okogie. And it's no shame to Josh Okogie and what he's doing. I think Ish Wainwright has the physical size to match up better with Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard,
That last game was unbelievable. I thought Ish did an amazing job individually against Kawhi Leonard. And the thing that I took away from that game is I said, I just found my Kawhi Leonard, not stopper, but I found the guy that's really going to make Kawhi Leonard have to work and really be physical in that series.
Well, I think what you're saying is it's no indictment against Josh whatsoever. It's
no,
just
not
a
at all.
matchup.
Not at all. Ish is just bigger and stronger, and he can lean on him a little bit more.
The thing that is interesting when you talk about matchups, now that Monty's played everybody on that bench, seems like they've played a lot of basketball this year, and rightfully so, and maybe that's the blessing in disguise. Do you think he continues with the matchups like you're saying with Ish Wainwright on the claw, or will he settle in with his 8-9 guys off the bench and stick with that rotation? How do you see him playing that out?
Yeah, if you go back to years past, he tends to shorten his bench, which personally I'm not a big fan of. I agree with all the things that you just said. You've played these guys throughout the season. Every time he called on somebody, they stepped up. Lately we've seen Bismack Biyombo step up and play an integral role down the stretch. We've seen Ish Wainwright make some threes. Terrence Ross, Josh Okogie. You can go on and on with every guy. I would like to see him play, 9 to 10 guys a night, and stay with the rotation that brought you there and not wear out Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Chris Paul. Keep Cameron Payne on his minutes, and and go that way. Monty in the past has shortened his rotation. I'd love to see him go, 9, 10 guys if possible, if the rotation works the way.
All right, let me drop this on you then, because I'm always kind of under the impression, Tim, and you can clarify for us, that once you get to the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. It's much more physical. And is that going to be okay for the Phoenix Suns? Will they still try to take the ball to the basket and not settle for perimeter shots around the three-point line?
Yeah, because you said it, the game does slow down half-court situations. It definitely becomes more physical, but you can't back down from it. You can't let the other team make you do things that you don't want to do. So you have to be just as physical, if not more, on the offensive end there, attacking the defense. So the Suns are going to have to put the officials out of their mind. Hey, the game gets physical. You're not going to get any calls. We know the LA Clippers are a physical team to begin with, so it's going to be even more so. So the Suns they've got to change. First of all, keep the officials out of your head and be more physical yourself.
Tim, looks like everybody's pretty much healthy. Several day-to-days. Cameron Payne, but I'm sure he'll be there. Bismack Biyombo, pretty much day-to-day. So it sounds like all hands on deck. Here we go, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the Suns are shorthanded at all. I think this week will definitely let the guys with bumps and bruises heal, and everybody will be 100%. They'll be ready to go. When it rolls around on Sunday.
It's always good, pal, when you take time to come on the show. We always appreciate you. Enjoy the game Sunday, and we will talk again next week. Thank you, Tim.
Sounds good. Good talking to you guys.
There you go. That's Tim Kempton. All right, everybody. The Arizona Rattlers are going to take on Duke City Gladiators Saturday night at the Footprint Center. We're going to have a conversation with the head coach, Kevin Guy, and he is coming up next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Cardinals are hosting ex-Texas Tech edge rusher Tyree Wilson today as one of their top 30 pre-draft visits. Former TCU running back Kendry Miller is also on the meeting schedule. The Coyotes set to play a pair of preseason games in Australia next season. They'll face the LA Kings for exhibition September 23rd and 24th as part of the NHL Global Series. The Diamondbacks wrapping up their midweek matinee, closing out their 3-game set with the Brewers. The NBA has released its complete first-round playoff schedule. The Suns and Clippers play Game 1 Sunday afternoon. Game 2 is Tuesday. Games 3 and 4 in LA Thursday and Saturday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker and Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Look for clear skies with those temperatures dipping down into those low 60s. And then for your Thursday, temperature right around 81 degrees with breezy conditions. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Thursdays at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. The guys broadcast live from one of 5 Valley locations. And tune in at 2:45 for Peaks Picks, your chance to win a Twin Peaks man card. It's Guys Live every Thursday at Twin Peaks.
With every other attorney out there claiming to be the right attorney for you, it's time we look at the facts. Lerner & Rowe has helped over 150,000 injured people receive compensation for their injuries. We've recovered billions of dollars, with over $1 billion recovered in the last 5 years alone. We have over 50 attorneys and over 400 legal professionals and their resources to fight for you. The reality is, there's Lerner & Rowe, then there's everybody else. Interact, need a check?
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Right Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at righttoyota.com.
Shopping for a mortgage? Big bangs can be a big hassle. Call GC Global Capital and work with a local team of mortgage experts for great rates and lower fees, more options, and faster closings. Don't let your dream home purchase turn into a nightmare. Call the professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your local mortgage professionals.
GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License MB 0924983. An equal opportunity lender.
It's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. We love providing great food for family gatherings, parties, even work meetings. And we make it simple.
We sure do, no matter what the occasion. At Venezia's, we make catering easy. You can see our entire catering menu online at venezias.com. Or let us know how we can help at one of our 6 locations, including the newest, now open in Chandler.
We'd love to bring Venezia's to your next party. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition.
Mass Mutual knows that your finances can be...
Coming back in 1 minute. No call yet. Would you like me to call him?
Yep, we really should.
Like we never talk about our savings.
No, we never talk about that. Or our assets.
Or our debt.
Yeah, we really should talk about our debt.
We need one of those financial plans.
One of those will make a difference.
We should talk about it.
We really should.
Talk to us about financial wellness today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Mass Mutual. Live Mutual.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies.
Okay, he hasn't called yet. You want me to call him?
And try Pure Z Sleep plus next day energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
Okay, that's about all we have in our break.
Now's the perfect time to plan an epic summer when we still have a couple months and there are epic deals.
Do you want me to call him after we come back?
Cute tees for under $10 each. Sandals for everyone in my family at just $20 each. And outdoor patio essentials for 50% off. Plus, I earned a Kohl's Cash. These deals won't last long though. So if you want to stock up and save before summer's even here, you know where to go. Select styles. Offers end April 16. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey, Arizona, if you're shopping for a new or certified used vehicle, visit any one of your 13 Valley Chevy dealers for the best deals and offers on trucks, crossovers, SUVs, and cars. The Silverado is the #1 best-selling full-size light-duty pickup. So check it out during truck season going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers or visit valleychevy.com. Based on S&G Global Mobility 2022 calendar year end, U.S. new vehicle registrations using GM custom retail registration type in the GM half-ton large pickup segments.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Stunning design, unmatched intelligence, and a compact ready for anything build. Sometimes exceptional is the rule. The Mercedes-Benz GLA, member of the unrivaled SUV family. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
You're live.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're rolling here until the top of the hour at 4 o'clock from Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, right on the Price and right on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as we continue until 4. Time to talk a little Rattlers football because they are hosting Duke City Gladiators Saturday night. Kickoff at about 6:05 downtown at the Footprint Center. And the head coach is with us, John Guy. We say hello to him right now. Hello, Coach. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
We're doing great, kid. Absolutely great, Kevin. So the thing that I want to kind of bring up with you, coming off a loss, I know that the last time we spoke to you, you thought the Sugar Skulls game was going to be difficult, and it turned out to be just the way you talked about it on the show.
Well, yes, we have a lot of injuries right now, and we decided during the off season we were going to have a little bit of a rebuilding year and have some younger players, and we're playing with a lot of new players.
Guys, I can hear a lot of echo from your speaker. Turn it down.
The injuries that we have, the veterans that we brought back, we've had a lot of our vets that played here that we kind of built this team around, they're the ones that's injured. So it's kind of a recipe for disaster right now because I got a lot of young players and then my veterans are hurt. So we're just kind of going through some growing pains right now. And, I don't know when it's going to stop. It may last another 2 or 3 games, but once guys get healed up and we can get them back in the lineup, I look for us to get on a roll.
Coach, I got to tell you, but Jorge Reyna, the threw for 6 touchdown passes, your quarterback in the loss, seems like that young man's not missing a beat.
Well, he's got a long way. He's got a long ways to go with timing. His timing, his footwork in the pocket. Those are the things that we're working on. The footwork is a little different because of our field size, because of when you get down in the red zone, it's a little different than what you're used to in the outdoor game. So we have to change the footwork up a little bit and work on his timing. And the footwork will help his timing. But a lot of guys that come, from the outdoor game, it's something new for them. So, so he's going through that process. And quite frankly, they competed in camp, Reyna and Drew Powell. It was going to be hard for Reyna to beat him out in 10 days. He knew that coming in. Camp was only 10 days, and then we're right into the season. So, you got to watch Drew for the first couple of games, but then, Drew, got hurt, and now he's getting his opportunity. So we're kind of going back and spending some time with him and working on the things that he needs to get better at. But, he's got a great arm. He's accurate, and he's got a lot of upside to him. So I think he's going to be, we tried to keep everything vertical for him last week, just running hitches and hook routes and go routes and kind of let him see that the Tucson ran a lot of zones. So I don't like to run a lot of, digs and corners and posts, for a new quarterback when you're seeing that much zone. So we try to keep everything vertical for him. And for the most part, he saw the field. He just got to get his timing down. And, we need to get some receivers back in the lineup to help make some plays because we were down to, 4. We only dressed 4 receivers. One of them called me Saturday morning of the game, said he woke up and his hamstring was tight. He didn't think he was going to be able to play. Now we're down to 3. We already had some guys that were hurt. And then one of our receivers got hurt in the first quarter. So we were really down to 2. And we lost by 6 points. So, I was having to use my experience from coaching and get through the game, and it was, it was just a tough night. It was a frustrating night.
Well, Coach, it sounds like one of those first-year receivers, Isaiah Scott, 11 catches on the day, 174 yards and 4 touchdowns. Sounds like he stepped in and did an outstanding job for you.
He did. He's a good young rookie that we brought in this year. A lot of those catches, he made some very tough catches. But a lot of those catches too was because of the zone they were playing. He was the one that they were leaving open, and rightfully so. I mean, they were trying to take away our 2 veteran and receivers, and so therefore he got an opportunity to make some plays, and he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. So I was very happy for him. He's growing and he's getting better. He's still some little things that we're coaching up on, and he's learning, but he's got a great attitude. He's got great work ethic, and I look for this young man to make some big plays and be a big part of the future here at the Rallies.
Kevin, you've had great success against your upcoming opponent Saturday night, Duke City Gladiators. You're 7-0 all-time against them. Is it just matchups, or because teams change every year, how comfortable are you knowing that you have had that success against this opponent on Saturday night?
Well, when I always hear somebody throw those kind of stats out, I always think to myself, well, that sounds like Duke City is due. So, I don't look at it the other way.
Okay, that's fair.
We were out here. We got after it today. I've been really disappointed in our defensive play this year, and we got some young faces on our defense, but our veterans that we usually hang our hats on just has not been playing to the level that we need them to be successful. We've had some communication issues. A lot of that's got to do with some of our young players, but we have to get this fixed because Nate Davis, the quarterback for Duke City, he is lethal with that ball. He can fit it in a 6-inch window, very accurate. You may remember him. He had a great career at Ball State. Played for the 49ers for a few years.
Yes, I remember him.
He's the most accurate quarterback that when I was in arena football and in the indoor football. He's the most accurate quarterback I think I've seen in both leagues. And he's not very mobile. He's had a few injuries. Last year we knocked him out. I think we tore his ACL and he was out for the year. But he wasn't very mobile before he tore his ACL, and he's not a very mobile quarterback. But man, he can spin it, and we got to make sure that we pocket collapse and get some pressure on him.
Coach, what's going to be the main emphasis? You talked about that just a little bit on Saturday at the Footprint Center at the 6:05 kickoff. What are you hoping to do to get off from the get-go, to get off the schneid, stay consistent, or stay out in front of Duke City for the entire game?
Well, hopefully our young quarterback grows between last week and this week. Hopefully we get some receivers back in the lineup that can help us with it. I mean, obviously, Dan, from playing quarterback, when you got some veteran receivers that understands depth of routes and how to run the routes, it's a cleaner picture for the quarterback. And so we need to make sure that we give him some big pictures, big windows to throw into, some clean pitchers, and make sure we're getting our depth and running the right route. I mean, we need to do a good job for him. I thought our protection was pretty good last week, but I think if we could get him to grow, and then defensively we got to show up. I mean, we're used to averaging, 5 stops a game. No one's even come close to us over the last 15 years of how well our defense has played over the years. We've averaged 5 stops a game, and right now we're probably averaging like 2. And when you only get 2 stops a game, you're going to lose the game by 1 point. You're going to lose the game by 6 points like we have. So our defense needs to step up and carry the team while we're going through this growth.
3 minutes.
Coach, it's always great when we have you on the show, and we always appreciate you because of your honesty and the way that you talk about your team and the upcoming opponent as well. My question then would be, is this a product possibly of only having limited practices prior to the season beginning, or is it coupled with all of the injuries that you have had?
No, I would say, listen, the practicing, the limited practices before the season, you only having 10 to 12 days of camp. Everybody's in the same boat, so you really can't make that an excuse because every team's got the same rule, right? So it is where we're at today is a combination of our youth and our injuries combined. Okay, and once our young guys learn the game and get a little better, improve week to week, and we get some guys healthy, I think you're going to see the old Rattlers again. This thing might get uglier
2 minutes
before it gets better. And I'm just being frank. It may take us 2 or 3 weeks to come out of it. And, I certainly, you want me to be honest, I'm just telling you. And hopefully our defense, our special teams, our run game can help us out to try to pull off a game or two here and stay in the race. But I feel fully confident that once we get healthy, this is going to be a great football team, and we're going to have a chance.
That's why we always appreciate you so much being on the show. And if there's a guy who can turn it around, Coach, it is you. Thank you so much. Good luck on Saturday night.
I appreciate you having me on. Y'all have a great week.
Okay, there you go. Kevin Guy, head coach, Rattlers. Big game coming up Saturday downtown at the Footprint Center, which brings to this. How would you like to go to that game? Well, just because Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are just cool guys, we can do this for you. We have caller football tickets available. That's right. We will take the first 4 callers, and you will win a 4-pack for Saturday's game. 6 o'clock kickoff. First 4 callers, and you'll receive a 4-pack for Saturday night's Rattlers game. Here's all you have to do. Call 602-260-9191. 602-260-9191. All right, coming up, it's our Lerner and Rowe 1 call. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is The Herd.
Attention listeners.
With Colin Cowherd.
It doesn't feel like it's a long-term fix. It feels a little desperate. It feels like basically you gave Lamar a cool Christmas present to get him back to the negotiating table. But the Ravens are in a tough spot. It's quarterback league and they don't have one. You probably need to work on the marriage. And I think that's Baltimore's issue.
This is The Herd. Tomorrow at 10. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Loop 101 northbound approaching Chaparral. We have an accident. Right lane is blocked. Stop and go traffic from Thomas. Also an accident sitting off right. Loop 202 eastbound near Scottsdale Road. And South Mountain Freeway, Loop 202 southbound near Southern Avenue. We have an accident being reported. That's a check of traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Time to get in on real estate investments. GC Global Capital has financing with no income verification. Call 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License NB 0924983. An equal opportunity employer.
They say there are two things you can't avoid, death and taxes, but they don't know about AC Doctors Heating and Cooling. I have an AC Doctors air filtration system, a new AC, and I work out, so I'm a doctor of sorts. I might live forever. And taxes? Well, I just had a brand new AC unit installed with a $2,000 federal tax credit, not to mention thousands of dollars in rebates, discounts, and utility savings. So do what the doctor ordered. An apple a day and call AC Doctors at 602-767-7435 or visit theacdoctors.com for details.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
It's the Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977.
We're going Mount Castle.
Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
High fly ball left field. Did he? Yes, he did. As grand as it gets.
456 feet, and we just said Mounties sit on that slider, and he got one right in the heart of the plate. And wow.
A 9, count 'em, 9 RBI night for Ryan Mountcastle.
Oh, man, that's unbelievable. He hits a 3-run dinger, then a grand slam, and he had a couple RBIs as well. That is indeed our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all. Interact, need a check, 602-977-1900. They can always help you. You can always go to lernerandrowe.com, and you also get a free consultation. Once again, 602-977-1900. Now, let's get to What's on Tap.
Pour me one back there, if you would, there, Xander.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Going to have one here after we get off the show, according to FCC. Don't want to get fined.
No, that's correct.
Hey, looking ahead, the Suns and Clippers will play in the first round of the playoffs as the 4 or 5 matchup. We will begin game 1 set for Sunday at 5 o'clock. The game will be viewed on TNT and Valley Sports. And tonight, we're looking at the games tonight. 4 o'clock coming up here on ESPN Plus, the Bulls and the Raptors. And then tonight also on ESPN, 6:30, you got the Thunder and the Pelicans. They'll be getting after tonight also on ESPN. And What's on Tap brought to you by the Roc and Manuch Lager by Huss Brewing Company. Now available at Tavern Grill in Scottsdale at 88th Street and East Via Linda. Arena Sports Grill on Bell and 62nd Street. Upper Crust Cave Creek Road and the 101 next to the Costco. And in the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Try it for yourself. That's the Roc and Manuch Lager by Huss Brewing Company.
Got to be good. Got to be good. If name's on it, it's got to be good. All right, Manuch, let's get to the State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day.
You can still go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter to answer this question of the day. What will be the biggest weaknesses Suns will have to overcome once the playoffs start? Is it Josh Okogie? Is it lack of big men? Is it scorer off the bench? Or is it the injury? So right now, which I said, you can still go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. 52.9%, gentlemen, are saying the injuries, followed by lack of big men and scorer off the bench at 17.6%, and Josh Okogie 11.8%. So that is your State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day.
And they are Arizona's top roofer. You can find them on Twitter page, also on our Roc and Manuch website. And no matter, the Roof State 48 Roofing will do an amazing job for you. For a free quote, repair, or installation, you need to check out State 48 Roofing. Fastest way to get a trained technician to your home or business, state48roofing.com. That's state48roofing.com, the home of the hashtag sexy roof status. Or if you're old school like Manuch and myself, 602-527-8502. So I'm really looking forward to what's going to take place with the Suns. I thought it was real interesting when we had a conversation with Tim Kempton, and he referenced for Kawhi Leonard Ish Wainwright maybe getting the start just because he's more of a physical presence and can D up maybe a little better against the claw.
Well, in that last game, and we talked about a little bit where the claw, that being Kawhi Leonard, came on the last, 3 or 4 minutes, just kind of took over.
He did.
Against the Suns bench, if you will. And they won that game, which they needed to win that game. So it will be interesting to see the matchups. When you look at our State 40 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day, it's interesting because we always talk about this, guys. Can CP3, first and foremost, make it all the way through, which I think it amounts to, 28 games after it's all said and done, Jimmy?
Could be, yeah.
If you go from start to finish, win the NBA championship. Can he survive? Can Devin Booker survive the entire way through? Can Kevin Durant survive all the way through with the ankle injury and the knee injury? And you can only hope to imagine that if they can stay healthy, which when you looked last year at the Golden State Warriors, they got healthy and then they stayed healthy throughout the entire playoffs last year to win it all. 2 years ago, when the Milwaukee Bucks won it all, they got healthy.
They did.
The Greek Freak got healthy for the playoffs. They stayed healthy throughout the entire playoffs. Middleton now back with this Bucks team. So you look at all the teams in the playoffs, you got to remain healthy. I think that's kind of the Captain Obvious quote of the day, if you will.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really does make a difference where other teams have that bench strength. They have those individuals that can step in, but it's very rare that if you have 2 or 3 guys, let's just say 2 guys that have got a spot fill and a couple of your starters are out, and to get you all the way to the playoffs, and less than it was 2 years ago when you had CP3 out for a couple games. They survived. Campaign came in, played, I thought, very well. You had Devin Booker out. Remember he broke the nose?
Yep, remember that?
Then he had the face shield on. So even though the Suns had some injuries, they were able to overcome some of those injuries with their depth at the time. So the common denominator was DA, was Jay Crowder, was Mikal Bridges, was Cam Johnson coming off the bench, Campaign. So the spot fill guys they had, they were able to make it all the way through the Western Conference Finals and win it and go to the NBA Final.
All right, so once again, that game will be played Sunday, 5 o'clock at the Footprint Center. All right, let's get a quick update now on how the Diamondbacks did today. They ended up winning over the Brewers 7-3, banged out 12 hits. By the way, the Brewers committing 3 errors in that game as well. So a nice win again for the Diamondbacks, who are now 8-5 on the season and 5-2 at home.
And Jimmy, the last, the games that they've won, the last 2 out of 3 against the Brew Crew, they won with some power.
They did,
yeah. A little pop in their bat. Yeah. Corbin Carroll going deep for another home run. Gurriel, I'm having another big game with 3 for 4 with the 3 RBIs. So, now this team is, when you look at them, they're going to pretty much have one of those scenarios. They go on the road, going to head out. They got tomorrow off and head to Miami to take on the Marlins and hopefully keep that streak going. Stay and keep pace with the San Diego Padres and the LA Dodgers.
I've just checked a score here because I find the Tampa Bay Rays interesting. They are playing the Red Sox, and right now, bottom of the first inning, game just got underway, and no score. They are undefeated, Manuch, the Tampa Bay Rays.
You know, I think about them 11-0.
Yeah.
And I think of probably the greatest all-time starts. I think you've got to almost go back to 84 in the Detroit Tigers. Or like 25-3.
It was amazing.
It was incredible. They kept winning, and Kirk Gibson on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what a phenomenal team that was that played the San Diego Padres in the World Series. And pretty much what they went 4-1 in that. They pretty much took care of business.
They did. They beat them up pretty easily.
The Steve Garvey era at San Diego. And
yeah.
Rich Gossage was at
Goose Gossage.
The Goose was in there. But when I think of great all-time starts, I think of that Detroit Tigers team, over 30-some years ago. They get off this phenomenal start. Now, this team gets to 15-0, 16-0, 17-0
yeah.
in modern-day baseball.
Yeah, you got it.
You're gonna go, well, it's early. We get it. First 2 or 3 weeks of the season. It's not – the pennant's not won in April. It's basically won in September and early October. Then you got to pay attention to that team.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just fun to peek in on right now, just with what is taking place. Manuch, where are we going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to be at Twin Peaks on Camelback. We'll catch up with Rick Hoare, the sports professor. We'll get his thoughts on where the hell the Pac-12 is headed in reference to their TV package, if he knows. We'll hopefully catch up with Steve Peters, the former Coyotes assistant head coach, if he's not tied up with the commissioner of the National Hockey League, that being Gary Bettman.
That's what the story you said earlier on the show. You said, well, maybe if I'm not talking to Gary.
Yeah, if he's not talking to Gary, he's got an interview or he's got to talk with Gary Bettman, excuse the hell out of us.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And then, you know what, guys? We'll get the latest from Howard Balzer on GoPHNX.com, beat writer for the Cardinals in reference to all the allegations, all the corroboration now by Ron Miniger about what Terry McDonough had said about the toxic work environment with the Cardinals. Nothing was mentioned in reference to Miniger's scenario with the burner phones that were alleged by one Terry McDonough. So there's a lot to go on. And then also, what else are they doing? They got the voluntary workouts over there at the Cardinals complex. Anybody on the horizon, any draft talk, who can you tell us is looking to move up? I think we have a pretty good idea what's going on. So we'll catch up with Howard Balzer tomorrow too. But today we got to thank Tim Kempton for stopping by, our campus quickies, Hode Rubino, and we had Steve Rivera and Mitch Stroman, and then the head coach of your Arizona Rattlers, one Kevin.
We had a terrific show here from Wright Toyota. Once again, thank you, Zandra. Terrific stuff. Jack's the same. We will be, once again, just to remind everybody, Camelback, Twin Peaks tomorrow. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as we close out here.